if I do.
Covino and Rich.
Honestly, how do I deal with you every day?
You heard all about it on the radio.
Whoa! Yeah!
Holy mother nugget! And holy mother meatball!
I'm the smartest man alive! You're so ridiculous.
What?
You're such a fool. Get out of here.
Oh, I'm a disc jockey.
What's a disc jockey?
Turn it up. Turn the show.
Here we go. Covino and Rich.
Let's go!
Oh, hey! Oh! We're happy to see you! Hola, ¿qué tal, vatos locos?
I was thinking, is today a Tuesday?
No.
It's a Wednesday. It's a hump day. You
Yes,
just speak
sir.
in Spanish for no reason.
No, I'm just practicing. Rosetta Stone.
Rich Davis in his tiger shirt. I'm Steve Covino.
I'm taking Tito Santana's Spanish class.
Oh, nice.
Remember, he's a teacher now.
Nice. With 4 hours sleep. Barely, maybe 4 hours sleep. So I'll be sipping on my coffee, enjoying this morning with you. Let's go!
Why the 4 hours of sleep?
I guess a lot on my mind, really, at the end of the day, and the beginning of the day, and the middle of the day. Because I fell asleep at a normal time. I was watching Better Call Saul, which really is a great, great show.
I told you.
Especially
to get back on board.
Season 5, when it starts to tie in with Breaking Bad, and Uncle Hank is in it.
Oh, you saw Uncle Hank?
Yeah, and I'm on season 5 now, catching up to the current day season 6. So I was watching that, and then I start getting tired, and I'm like, all right, bedtime. And I started to snooze-a-roo around probably 12.
Did you take a snooze-a-roo?
Yeah, it was a snooze-a-roo because by 2 a.m. I woke up, and then I couldn't sleep until maybe like 5 a.m. So maybe I got 4 hours sleep because I woke up, 7-something for the show today.
Did you immediately grab for your phone when you woke up?
I know that's a mistake.
It's a huge mistake.
Yeah, and people always say not to do that. But when you
The
have a
most
kid
you can
and
do is glance.
just want to make sure everybody's live.
At your
it's
lock
hard
screen.
to ignore your phone.
So you glance at your lock screen, you see, did I sleep through the night or did I sleep to 10 minutes before my alarm? And then you see, are there any alerts that matter? And then you just put it back down, go back to bed.
What I got to start doing, though, is
Popping an edible at night?
No.
When you can't sleep?
the do not disturb. I never
Or just for fun.
ever do that unless we're doing Behind the Velvet Rope on Patreon or something. But when I go to bed, do not disturb. Don't bother me. But then again, what if my kid's trying to reach me, right? And it's an emergency. I don't know. But
Same with edibles.
little text here and there. And being on the West Coast, you always have East Coast friends that heat you up. And it's like 8 o'clock for them, and it's 5 a.m. for us.
I
And it's
get
like,
those. I get those from coworkers
all the time.
but not like coworkers that are like my pals. It's not like Stanley T or Nicole or someone. I'm getting text messages from like my boss on the Pulse.
For
And
me,
I'm like,
it's always,
you realize it's 5:40.
Right.
yeah,
my-
it's always Vic in Toronto or, my buddy Sean the lawyer, my buddy Mike. They just always hit me up because they're on East Coast time and they have no regard for our time schedule.
I love when my family group chat is fire at 6 a.m.
You wake up, 96 new messages. What is J-Rock up to?
Yeah, seriously. So, hey, that was my story. But I had a nice Tuesday night. I watched Better Call Saul, and I watched the Yankees win, and it was a beautiful thing yesterday. It really was. It really, really was. Because Aaron Judge,
Earned his pinstripes.
no, you could say that.
Oh,
Because I
geez.
believe that was his first walk-off home run as a Yankee. His first ever walk-off home run.
Now?
Home run. Not walk-off hit. To my knowledge, that was his first walk-off home run. But it was a big one against a division rival.
I even thought this was a cool spot.
Yeah.
I'm not, me, I don't care for the Yankees, but Aaron Judge gets up there. Yanks are down 5-3, 2 runners on, and he hits a bomb. As they say, all rise.
Yeah,
for Aaron Judge.
The relief guy with the giant ears, that throwback-looking dude on the Blue Jays, I forget his name, but he has gigantic ears. The relief dude left one right up there in his wheelhouse, and he just yanked it,
I thought so.
stroked it.
I thought so.
It was a bad pitch.
Not that I'm, not that I'm an expert,
Dude,
but
he's 6'7".
I know baseball.
You don't leave one right at his eye level.
I know baseball when you're pitching to Aaron Judge in the bottom of the ninth inning, you pitch down and away. You cut him
pitch.
inside. Like the ball must have got away. He left a high hanger, and I'm like, how do you leave a high hanging?
It was a hanging slider.
Oh,
And you saw the rotation, and it didn't dip, it didn't drop, did nothing. And honestly, he crushed it.
Spot.
It
You
was
can see when it's a slider or a curveball that doesn't break because you could actually see. I mean, if you know baseball well enough, you could see just that
the spin.
rotation, but it never cuts. It just hangs, and
By
it
the
just
way-
hung up there. And Judge unleashed.
Randomly, they play in a half hour from now. The Yankees are on early today. But anyway, shout out to my Blue Jay
you're
friends.
not going to be paying attention for most of the show?
Shout out to Jess, Vic in Toronto. I always shouted you out, and Doug Ferrier. So yeah, had a nice Wednesday, and then I chillaxed, relaxed, and was lamping. Then I finally passed out and woke back up, and here we are again. So I hope all your teams won. Hope you enjoyed your NBA playoffs. Here's the hit.
Drill deep to left field.
It did kind of, it like,
Eye level.
You saw the ball just hung up there, Spot. That was supposed to break down and to the left, and it just stayed up there.
Left field. There
When a guy's 6'7", Rich is right. You keep it low.
He gave him a fat meatball.
Keep it to his knees.
As my mom used to say when I was playing like Little League in high school.
fat meatballs.
Richie, go get him. The other guy's throwing meatballs.
It's weird. That was my nickname in high school.
Remember that story where
of
the
course.
other mom in the stands was like, that's my son pitching. He's throwing meatballs, Richie.
Hey, speaking of sleeping, let's jump right into this because yesterday's show ran really long. A fun one. If you missed it, catch up on our Patreon. Tell your friends about it. We appreciate it. We reminisced a little bit about Tickle Sack. I told the story about my kid. The last two shows, fun story time. Hope you've enjoyed it. Speaking of sleep, I saw an article, and I sent it to you in Facebook Messenger, Spot. Because sometimes I can't copy the Facebook links and send them normally. I have to send them through Messenger.
Agree that Facebook is not very good at being able to share things.
Yeah.
It's okay.
So that's why I'm specifying.
I see a TikTok, I see an Instagram, easy to copy the link. Send to Cove, send to Spot, send to anyone. If I see something on Facebook, their instinct is to be like, here, Facebook message it to someone. I'm like, I don't want to Facebook message it to someone. And sometimes you try to copy the link and it won't paste the right way. I don't know.
This is
digress.
courtesy of Men's Journal, courtesy of Jim in North Carolina. The question was, as posed on the Carl page, shout out to the Carls on Facebook, Covino and Rich listeners. Love all you guys.
Well, you didn't share the link of the article. You shared the page in which the article is on.
I mean, I already gave enough shitty, useless information.
I'm just saying you would go to the article, copy the direct link, paste that in our chat. There might be people that want to know that.
So Jim
Whenever you're
asks-
sharing something with friends, if you click on the article, let's say that you want to share with your friend,
Then you could share that article.
then in the bottom you can hit share of the article, the link, and then you can send that to your friends.
Agreed. But what you just did was describe where Facebook is annoying. Because if you see some
Yeah, you
clip or
can't
something on
share
another
the
social media platform, you can't share that person.
You don't share the post. You have to share what they're sharing.
Yeah. I don't think I had time yesterday to do that. I forgot, or I couldn't figure it out. So Jim sent us this article or posed this question on the Facebook page. And since I couldn't sleep last night, it kind of goes with the story. The question was, do you sleep naked or in PJs? And here are the stats. Dwayne stat style. The majority, 52% of Americans, sleep partially clothed. 31% sleep fully clothed. What does that even mean, fully clothed?
Like in a
like a Ebenezer Scrooge, with a nightcap.
I picture like a shirt and like shorts. Like a shirt.
No, fully clothed. I feel like people are wearing like
No.
socks and pants and shirts. And,
Fully clothed implies to me like a whole
like
set, like
t-shirt and pants, shorts or pants.
Okay.
I
like,
think-
you know, the pajama set you buy your like
would-
what my mom wears when my mom was visiting, and you'd see her and she'd have her like matching
I like those.
mom jammies.
Those are good,
I would
winter.
argue over your underwear would be a top and a bottom.
Okay,
Don't get
so
excited, Rich.
I'm
A
part of
top
the-
and a bottom.
Well, I'll save the reveals. Anyway, the majority, 52% of Americans sleep partially clothed.
Okay.
31 sleep fully clothed.
Fully.
And 17% of Americans. Wait. If you're not already the 17% of Americans who sleep unclothed, I don't know what that means. I'm just reading the article.
That's the 17% is naked.
Oh, okay.
If you do the math.
While 81% of Americans prefer to sleep in silence, 77% refrain from sleep aids, 19% sleep listening to music. Do any adults still do that?
I get irritated by something that Sarah doesn't hear that I hear. She'll take Ben out of his crib in the morning when he's like, Mama, Mama. And no joke, Spot. It'll be after the show. It'll be early afternoon. And I'm like, what? His sound machine's still on. It's to Sarah, it really is white noise. To me, I hear, so I can't, sound machine.
Well, you're part of the 6%. 6% use prescription drugs or edibles. I'm just throwing that in there. 5% don a sleep mask.
No.
That's you, Spot. I feel like you wear a
prescription
sleep
drugs
mask.
and
I only wear
edibles.
3% wear earplugs. Imagine the nerd.
Hold on.
I only wear a sleep mask if I'm in places of like an airplane or if I'm in a room that is surrounded by light.
Let's make it very clear that sleeping, like prescription pills, are could be dangerous. They're not in the same category as edibles. So let's make that distinction.
Okay, yeah. I mean,
like
I
sleeping
wasn't
pills
trying to
could sleeping
throw them
pills
together, but
but sleeping
it's
pills are
some sort of
dangerous. Yeah,
aid.
yeah.
Where do you put melatonin?
Probably more in the category of like an edible. Sleeping pills are no bueno. Like doctors, and everyone will tell you, don't take sleeping pills unless you really have to.
No, I don't do that either. Okay, so the big stat here is 31% sleep fully clothed, 17% sleep unclothed. It was a weird sentence because they had shit in parentheses and everything. So 17% sleep naked. It's kind of wild to me.
How much?
17%
Naked.
My wife's
naked. Really?
Yeah.
Kristen sleeps nude.
I was restless last night. I was thinking like, I got to do something.
Like sometimes she'll get in bed, depending on how cold it is, she'll get in bed with a robe on.
What is she, ravishing Rick Rude?
Yes.
Who's she, Judge Steve Harvey?
But generally, she'll...
What are you at the Four Seasons? A robe?
Yeah, a robe. She has a little, like a fleece robe or a light robe. She'll wear that robe to bed. But if not, then she'll take it off and she's
What is she, Gennady Golovkin?
She's nude. So I'll go in and she's just laying on the bed with her cheeks up.
That's wild to me.
I personally sleep in my underwear because I need my balls. I don't want to roll over onto my testicles.
I feel like
You know how some people are afraid of smothering their child? I'm afraid of smothering my cock and balls.
I think some people, if you sleep nude, if you're a woman sleeps nude, I'm surprised you don't claim to have sex more often because I feel like there's no wouldn't you just be tempted to like start grabbing randomly? Like if she's laying there naked all the time?
Use an ass pillow.
I mean, restraint does exist, but yes, I do enjoy rubbing her cheeks if I see them. If she's just laying there, like ready to go to bed, I will just place my hand on a cheek.
Again, I guess
That's nice.
Sometimes a titty.
Well, so your spot is 50. You're part of the 52% who's partially clothed. Like a lot of people wear
Just
shorts
underwear.
or undies and no shirt. Right?
I've tried sleeping naked. Does not.
That's
work for me
52% of Americans.
because of my cock and balls.
31% of Americans fully clothed. I fall into that category. Big shocker. That's just how I'm comfortable. But you know what I used to do?
What are you wearing?
T-shirt and shorts. Always.
Okay, so that's
Or,
like I said,
I'm sorry, not shorts. T-shirt and briefs, boxer briefs.
Okay, so I would argue
or
that's like
shorts.
That's partially closed.
Yeah, it's partially clothed.
Yeah, I think you're part of the
Yeah.
52%.
But I used to, up until Jordan, I used to sleep with socks on. Remember that? All the time.
Socks
like,
in
I
bed?
can't even imagine why I would do that. Yeah, all the time.
if I fall asleep,
All the time. That's something I changed in the past 5 years of my life.
But like you'd go to sleep
Yeah.
with your tootsies covered.
Swear. I now look back and be like, what a fool. What was I doing? How was
Socks
I
in
comfortable
bed?
like that? Yeah, I swear to
Oh,
you.
just the thought of that. I'm
I
like,
don't know.
oh.
There's something about falling asleep with socks when I wake up in the morning. The tops of my feet feel weird.
Really? I
They
don't
feel
know.
like they've been constricted all night.
Maybe
It's
you got
weird.
tight socks.
No.
You got puffy ankles. And again, 17%, your wife, Spots, is part of the 17% who are naked. And yeah, I've never had to deal with that in my life. Like, oh, so that's how you're going to roll, huh? Just naked.
Ooh.
Just naked like that, huh?
A lot of times I
but last
start
night I did
out-
have that restless, like, and sometimes the change of scenery is good. That you go to the couch or something just to like cool off. There's only so many times you could flip the pillow over.
Real quick. The reason I used to sleep with a shirt on, The reason I stopped is because if you're moving around a lot in the middle of the night, which I do a lot.
It's all like
it gets crumpled. It's like pulling on it's pulling on things. It's very uncomfortable. So I removed it and I just put the covers up to my like neck.
Yeah, I'm a lot of time if I'm like laying in bed at night or just take a little nap, or I'll throw the t-shirt and boxer briefs on, but once I'm like, all right, it's bedtime, shirt off. I just boxer briefs only. Boxer briefs. I'm never nude.
So
I feel like nude.
Part of the what?
52% partial. Yeah, 52. I think sleeping nude. Well, first of all, I have kids, but second of all, it's a weird vulnerable state you're in. Like, let's say there's an intruder, or let's say you just even got to get up, and then you got your little acorn flopping around. I don't know. To me,
I've mentioned this before, dude, but it's so funny because you
hop
said
up
when
like a
you have
fireman.
kids, it changes. It does, right? I remember the day. I swear to God, because my dad, I'd always see him walking around in his tighty whities, right? Up until about 8 years old, dude was rocking his tighty whities. No, probably until about maybe 10ish, 11.
Yeah,
because he was a tighty whitey dude. The old school yellow and blue Fruit of the Loom band, you know what I'm talking about?
of course,
Rocking it. He'd be walking around with his ashtray, smoking cigarettes. Hey, oh, bulge, all bulges, walking around, all skinny with his bulge. And then as soon as my dad had daughters that
changed.
That got a certain age, I never forget the day he busted out these silky like Nike like workout pants, but they're like very Travolta 1980s, like super short. And I remember seeing my dad like, yo, those look weaker than your tighty whities. I remember thinking that. And my dad wore those for like the next 10 years.
Got daughters.
Because, he's, covering the bulge, I guess. I don't know what the thought process is. But yeah, you got to cover up if you got kids.
When my kids jump in bed with us, I'll throw on a t-shirt.
Right.
So I got my undies and t-shirt on because, I just feel like that's more appropriate. I don't know. Like when your kids are cuddling up next to you, like I feel like that's why I always keep.
Is there like aren't you like skin bonding?
I start. Well, that's when they're a baby. No, but I start with a t-shirt and boxer briefs. Throw the t-shirt off, and then in the morning when the kids come to cuddle, I'll wake up, I'll roll over, grab the t-shirt because I'm like, if Emmy and Ben are laying on me, I don't want to. I'll put on a t-shirt.
To wrap it up, you always see this on these dating shows like The Ultimatum, or what's the other one? Love is Blind.
I sleep naked.
Yeah. The Bachelor. I sleep naked. I hope you don't mind. I wonder if that's like a sweet move to pull.
Of course it is.
Even if you
it's
don't.
like
because,
I give great massages. Like,
it's one of those, right? Because you hear it all the time. Like, man, everybody sleep naked? I just started taking my socks off. Maybe in another 10 years, I'll be like, how did I wear a shirt? Who knows? But
Jason brings up a good point. There's a vulnerability to not having clothes on, but then again, what intruder would want to fight a naked man?
That's maybe part of the protecting the family. You're there just in the buck, as they say. But that's part of it too. Like you get up for a drink in the middle of the night. Like being naked feels weird.
Are you in the buck, or are you in the buff but you're buck naked? You're not in the buck.
I mean, unless you're like
Buck Showalter's boyfriend.
Unless you're dating Joe Buck. You could be in the buck.
Oh, that's a big one.
I don't know. So anyway, the sleep stats are out.
Yeah.
And it does. You know what's interesting about that, though? It's a new article from Men's Journal, but it doesn't say anything about edibles or melatonin. Again, when it comes to sleeping aids.
Oh. Well, melatonin's natural, and edibles are also made of
81% sleep in silence. I'm part of that. I never wanted to be. I was always the guy that had SportsCenter on, left the TV on, fell asleep watching TV. In my 30s till now, it's been, whoever I'm with, like, oh, TV off, guess the party's over, time for bed. 77% refrain from sleep aids, 19% sleep listening to music. Like, I know friends that did that, and I don't know if they still do. I doubt it. That's like a younger guy.
You know what else this article didn't include?
And 9% utilize the sound machine, 5% the mask, 3% wear earplugs. The
I love my mask and earplugs.
I wear my COVID mask sometimes. For old time's sake.
What I'm a huge fan of, and I'll credit Sarah because I had one when I was a kid, but I feel like I didn't most of my younger adult life. And I'm all about the bedroom ceiling fan. The bedroom ceiling fan is a must. It's a must. Like,
don't like-
now that I have one, I'm like, that's right. How did I not have a ceiling
I mean,
fan?
it doesn't have to be a ceiling fan. It just could be a fan.
You know what?
Yeah,
I
but a
don't
ceiling
like?
fan sort of.
I mean, I got a fan going. I feel like that's good enough.
I don't like direct drafts on me.
It hurts my eyes.
I get like, yeah. there's
Honestly,
something-
ceiling fan hurts my eyes.
Yeah,
Like, I'm
but
like,
there's something like I don't mind air circulating during the day to keep things moving.
Yeah.
But like to be directly beneath it while I'm sleeping, just I would get like a draft and it would feel weird.
A
Even if it's
fan
hot,
is good, though.
I would still get the breeze and it would feel weird to me.
just
Ceiling
that
fan?
17. I still can't wrap my head around the 17% that just sleep naked.
Yeah.
You must change your sheets a lot.
I'm not quite sure what's
I
more odd to me.
You're
Because
supposed-
Spot and I.
You're supposed to change your sheets a lot.
Spot,
I mean, but if you're naked,
yeah, that means your
that means
asshole.
your dirty, sweaty ass, and that means and your balls and your privates and you're
No, but
rolling around in
you
that
know,
sweat.
he's right.
That means you have to change your sheets at least once a week.
When are you changing your sheets?
Once every week and a half. Week. Yeah, dude, Jordan's obsessive with that shit. I'm lazy with
Did you
that
get
shit.
down and dirty? Or you put a towel down?
But
I mean, and we also found out Kristen's a gusher.
who knew?
Yeah, who knew?
Gusher!
She sleeps naked and she's a gusher.
Covino, I'll be honest, Spot and I feel like we're probably the most common answer, which is, I sleep in my boxer briefs, I sleep in my undies. The fact that you're wearing a t-shirt still is like, what are you wearing a t-shirt in bed for?
Never haven't. You know,
Listen,
I never have.
he doesn't show his nipples.
And plus, I don't want anybody to see my spider legs and my nipples. No, just how I'm comfy. Like I said, maybe in another 5 years, I'm going to say, man, I can't believe I used to do that. But again, I'm making progress. I just took the socks off in the past 4 or 5 years. I remember in my previous life, I was called sock foot. I don't want sock foot. Yeah. Okay.
Another thing wrong with you.
Yeah. So
Sock
anyway,
foot.
those are the stats. Where do you fall into this? Let's take a quick phone call and we'll move on.
Chris Terrio hit us up. I realize we are neglecting the text message. 412, the letter C in our show. What's up, Chris Terrio, the Terrio brothers from El Paso?
Which is the Paso
Said
for the
spot
non-Spanish
sheets-
speaking people.
Spot sheets definitely have caca stains on them.
I agree. Yeah, definitely.
Are you saying that my wife is shitting on our bed?
He is calling her an Amber Heard. There's grumpies. Grumpies.
I mean, just
I take offense to that.
in the buck, as I said. That's just
All right,
that's too
follow
vulnerable.
my line of thinking. All right, ready?
can't
Follow.
do that.
When you take a shower and you're clean as could be,
Yeah.
and you throw in a new pair of your Saks or Tommy or what did Vic get us? The Hanes,
Hañez.
the Hanes.
Los Hañez.
You throw in a fresh pair of boxer briefs. Even if you just took a shower, hours later.
How restricting are your
No, but I'm
underwear?
saying hours later, would you shove those undies in your face and be like, oh. Because if you're laying with your ass and balls on your bed sheets, that means every time you, like, I don't know, to me,
You know what I
there's
do?
no barrier.
You know what I do too? And
No
Jordan
barrier.
says things like this. I'm going to tell Rich. I'm like, tell Rich. I don't give a fuck.
Tell me. Jordan, tell me.
I'm
Tell
gonna
me
tell
what.
Rich. I bet you're the only person that does that.
Sleeps with shirt on? Not terribly
not
uncommon, but still.
You know what? I'll leave a little cliffhanger. Absolutely. Right after this phone call, I'll tell you what it is.
Bleacher Bum wants to know, Spot, when your wife was going through her mud butt stage, when she was ill, did she not wear anything to bed?
That's
she
the
does.
thing. People say, I don't wear a t-shirt or I don't wear because it's restricting when I'm sleeping. Okay.
Like during
But like
those,
you can't wear undies?
during those, the lady times. She wears stuff, but like a lot of times she doesn't.
Okay.
Let's see what the public has to say about this.
All right, who do we got, Spotty? Who's calling?
I don't know. Who's this?
Yo, yo.
Hey, it's Steve.
Oh.
Steve KC.
Hey, what's up, man?
Hey, I got an Ambien story, but it's important to know that I wear pants, sometimes a T-shirt. That's important to the story. So a couple years ago, and I'd taken Ambien for years, so just to back up your point, Rich, I started sleepwalking, and I've got a upstairs bedroom. One night, after having a couple glasses of wine, started sleepwalking again, and ended up flipping down our stairs, scalped off part of my skull, and broke my tailbone. So that was a couple years ago.
Oh my God.
And
Sleeping pills.
I'm
I
in
told
the car
you,
now,
dangerous.
still driving on a freaking donut.
Oh my God.
Dude, I'm sorry to hear that. But no wonder he wears pants,
Yeah,
just in case.
Hey, you know what? Exactly, but I don't take Ambien anymore.
You should wear a helmet.
I was
too,
going to
just in
say, you
case.
should wear a helmet when you
Oh
walk
my
around.
God, this guy wears a T-shirt. He wears a helmet. He wears knee braces.
Thanks.
Oh,
I hope you wear yak tracks. Remember those things?
Get better, Steve.
For more gription on your feet.
Yeah.
That sucks, dude. I'm sorry to hear that.
Vinny in Brooklyn.
Hey,
Yo,
Vinny.
I love Vinny. What's up, Vinny?
Yo, boys, what's going on?
How are you, man?
I sleep in basketball shorts, a guinea tee, and I fall asleep with the TV on every night.
Watching Water Wolf.
That's an image.
Let's go to the videotape.
Let's go to the video.
You know what, though? I can totally picture that. Sounds normal.
Vinny, I think, is that the official, when you grow up in Brooklyn, don't they give you a handbook and like, this is how you sleep?
That's the starter pack, yeah.
And both hands are resting on his belly. That's how I picture it.
That's the script they hand to you when you turn like 16.
Yeah. Guinea tee, basketball shorts, watch the local sports.
And they're probably huge basketball shorts that
There
he
you go.
had for like 20 years.
They're probably,
Yeah, they're probably really
They're
oversized
probably like
basketball
Hofstra
shorts.
University basketball shorts.
Hofstra, that's bullshit Long Island. Vinny's got like,
Super comfortable.
Vinny's got like St. John's.
Oh, St. John's.
But when they were called the Redmen back in the day.
He's definitely got some Mets basketball shorts for sure. Thank you,
I
Vinny.
got the one up. The one up basketball short.
The one up.
Yeah,
Yes.
the one up. But I could picture that, the old wife beater action, guinea tee. They're both politically incorrect. I don't know what you're supposed to call them, but
That's a good question. What are you supposed to call it? A man tank top?
Man top.
A man top.
An under tank top, undershirt, under tank shirt.
I don't want to spread
Under
toxic
tank top.
masculinity and call it the wrong thing. You're manzy. Oh, I'm sorry. It's called a manzy today.
That's a good. You know what?
Vinny
Renamed.
wears his shorts and a manzy.
his large shorts and a men's.
Vinny's like, you think I'm going to call it a Menzie? Get the fuck out of here.
But again, if you got anything out of this, it's the 17% of Americans that sleep naked. I was like, okay, interesting. That's where we're at now. I wonder if that's going to change. I wonder what the reasons are. It just had me thinking a little bit. But the one thing I do, grumpy, is let's say I take a midday shower. I go to the gym, right? I'll take a midday shower. I'm done with my turbo, my lithium, my boneyard. I'm done with my push-ups, my Pee Wee Herman workout. Right?
Mm-hmm.
I'll take a shower. Let's say it's 6, right? From 6 to bedtime, or from 6 to when I get in bed, I've been rocking a pair of socks, right? I'll put those socks bedside because I'm like, I wore them for 3 hours.
Yeah. I think
And
that's
I'll wear them the next day. And Jordan's like, you're gross. And I'm like,
there's a part of me that feels like your laundry loads are lesser because you don't got little kids. Like our laundry piles up because of 2 little kids. So I try to
minimize it.
I try to minimize it because
I try
the
to
kids
minimize
are wearing like
dishes.
2 things a day. So yeah.
And by the way, I had another deep thought. This is a Rich Davis, I'm on edibles thought. There's a song called The Great Apes. Did you have something to say before I move on?
Yeah, I was to wrap this up. I think that you should try sleeping without a shirt on. I think you'll feel free. Oh, that's so nice. It's not like an insecurity. Is there? Like, I don't want Jordan to see me.
How? I sleep with a blanket over my shoulder. I feel like there's something secure about just feeling comfy.
I'm telling you, you'll feel more free and mobile as you sleep.
Feel restricted at all in my t-shirt. That's the thing. I'd give it a go and be like, wow. You think it'll be like a weird epiphany? Like, can't believe it.
Do you sleep in like extra large shirts?
No, regular t-shirts.
Stretch out the sleeves and everything.
Right, dude. I can sleep in this.
I have a
if
question.
Do
you have specific shirts you sleep in, or do you sleep in the shirt you're
Well,
wearing
good
for the
question,
day?
Spot.
No, like those are my like weak shirts.
Okay.
Like weak t-shirts, like gym t-shirts.
Oh, so Jordan gets a really hot version of you?
Yeah, the super hot version.
Jordan sleeps next to a dude wearing Big Johnson t-shirts from '99.
No, Nussy Hunter. This is my Nussy
Honestly,
Hunter t-shirt.
What are you at? Jordan's looking probably wearing cute little bedtime shorts and a bra or no, boobs out, and you're wearing a Swoot t-shirt from 2007.
This is not by no means a creepy question. How does Jordan sleep?
It depends again on the weather, right? So either pajama pants and a top, a tank top,
Okay.
Yeah,
Oh,
I feel like
I've
that's
seen
Jordan.
it.
I
I've
feel like
seen
that's Jordan's official lounge mode.
Yeah.
Like when I
Come
go to your
over,
house, she's
yeah.
always wearing like a tank top and like flannel
her-
pants.
that's
light,
her
light
costume.
flannels, thin flannel pants.
Yeah, that's her costume. And then if it's hot, summertime will be, little short shorts.
Oh, it's hot.
with the tank top.
Yeah.
Oh, you want to get a visual before we move on?
coming
If,
over? in
if
the
it's
summertime.
Rocket Dog, absolutely.
Come summertime,
I imagine Rocket Dog like Winnie the Pooh, just a T-shirt.
Yeah,
come the
with hat.
summertime.
I imagine him with the hat and the nightshirt with the, that Winnie
Oh,
the
I
Pooh
think-
with the
you know
candle.
what?
He carries around a candle.
Rocket Dog probably only wears a short, like a men's medium T-shirt, where his belly's below the shirt, so it's almost like a crop top,
No, that's his chill outfit. Yes,
And-
that's right.
and
When
no
he goes to
pants.
sleep, he wears the nightcap.
nightcap, and a little T-shirt. Oh bother! Come summertime, I'm naked all the time. Mario Rangel.
Wow.
Oh man!
This is what he.
Oh, that's Rocket Dog. There we got a picture. So there you go.
Yeah,
That's what he looks like.
Yeah. But during the day, he just wears, at home, he wears
he
just
cuts
the
the
T-shirt.
ears out like that too. Of his little night hat.
Yo, Mario Rangel in the buff, huh?
Yeah.
He just wears one of his leather belts.
One of our listeners said something funny. I forget who it was. It was one of our woman listeners who we love. It was like Tammy or somebody. She said, why is it that you feel more naked if you like somehow she had just socks on, or like she put flip-flops on or something? She's like, you feel more naked wearing just flip-flops or socks, I forget what it was,
Good
than when
assessment.
you're actually naked.
That is yeah.
Yeah, because you feel like you're going somewhere.
Yeah, that's weird.
So,
Oh, the Yankees are on.
are you serious?
I think that's what it was, yeah. I want to
You
remind
are-
myself.
You're not.
It's very rare that the Yankees are on at
you're
9:35.
not, you're not putting on.
No, I'm not putting it on. I'm just saying I reminded myself,
you
I
reached
guess,
for your
earlier in the
phone
week.
like you were about to put it on. to watch
Jessica Lynn hit us up on our text message. 412, the letter C in our show. That's
She's
still
all-
up and running.
She's all butthurt about Aaron Judge, I bet.
She said, I'm convinced if I sleep naked, a bug or something's going to crawl up one of my crevices.
Yeah, man.
Like there's some type of weird, like,
and-
yeah, like
it. Who said that?
Jessica Lynn's worried about her crevice. I'll say Ace.
Yeah, man.
Everything's out there for Jesus to see.
That's wild to me, dude. So anyway, hey, different strokes for different folks.
Yeah.
Rich, have you ever had anything crawl up your butthole
My crevice
since
Ace.
the early 2000s?
No, not since then.
Not unwillingly.
Well, hey.
Not ever since Lemmy Winks.
Oh, someone else brought up a good point. Do you sleep with your bedroom door open or closed?
Always locked.
Open.
Locked?
Locked. Fucking another barrier for intruders. Locked.
Wow.
Open.
Why would I have it open? What am I, a fucking maniac? What are you, a psychopath? Why would
Well,
you have your bedroom door open?
We have to keep it open to hear the kids. So our
Why
door.
can't you hear the kids? You
Through
have
the door?
cameras. You have everything
Through
else.
the
You can hear
door,
white
no.
noise. You can't hear the kids crying.
No, we keep the door like wide. Our bedroom door wide open. Spot says he keeps his door open too.
Yeah, I leave my
You
door
guys are
open.
maniacs.
Lock your bedroom door
Locked.
like locked.
Locked.
Let me tell you, the lock on my bedroom door is not going to keep an intruder out. So what's the difference?
It'll give you a second or two. No, it won't. Okay. All right. So yeah, that's what I do.
You've seen my doors. There's no way they'll honestly, they can just put their hand through the door, reach around and unlock
Yeah.
it.
Random dumb thought.
I have
Now,
those
Flimsy apartment
Yeah, I
doors
have those
that
shitty actually, as a matter of fact,
like those
there's a
$80
big-
Home Depot.
because they didn't bother to measure it, there's a big enough gap on the top of the door they could just reach over and open it.
well, thanks again to Jim for sharing that article with us, and people were going back and forth on our Carl page. Thanks for being interactive. We appreciate it. Now, when you're up late at night and you got a lot on your mind, you start thinking really stupid shit, kind of like Rich on edibles. So there's a song I've been listening to, and I love it. I don't know why. I don't know what it's about. I have no idea, but maybe it's hitting a subconscious sort of thing about me that I'm relating to. I don't know.
Is it that Russian TikTok song
No.
that people don't realize is the most vulgar song ever?
Nope.
Is
But
it the is
know
it
you
that
gotta
new
play
rap
it now.
that's sweeping the nation?
Oh, is it My Money Don't Jiggle Jiggle?
This wasn't a
Foles?
guessing game. I was about to tell you, but now I got to hear both songs.
I'd like to see you
So I don't know what
wiggle,
you're talking about.
Well, I mean, your money don't jiggle.
Oh, sure.
I don't know that shit.
Of course you know
Makes
that
you want to
shit.
dribble, dribble. You know?
Come on,
Right, like,
Sarah's
really
like, you
gotta
guys
see
need
it.
to do that dance. I'm like,
6'2" in a compact.
you
no
think
slack.
you think I'm gonna
Luckily, the
get?
seats go back.
You think I'm
Got a
gonna
knack
get?
to relax in my mind. Sipping some red wine. You don't know
I
that
don't
song?
know, man. I'm allergic to shit like that. So I might know it if I hear it, but I don't know what you're
that to
saying.
you a week ago.
So then I probably know it, but
Sarah's like, you guys got to do that. And again, it'll be one of your most viewed videos. And I'm like, you think I'm gonna get Steve Covino to do even the simplest of dance?
well, then why don't you do it?
Well, it's the Covino and Rich show, not just the Rich does a thing. And
Yeah,
Covino,
like I always say,
So we
to
have to
you,
do everything together?
I would gladly do dances, trends, all this stuff, but a lot of times it's just me on the fucking TikTok feed, and you guys don't want to do anything.
But he knows the Jiggle Jiggle song.
My money don't
It folds. He knows it. I mean, if he doesn't, he's been living under a rock.
I'm sure that I do because I'm very on top of social media.
Do you
but
want
I
it-
don't know it by
Do you want the
your
clip
description.
of the guy, or do you want it with the dance?
With the dance, because the dance is what everyone's doing, and the fact that
No, I like the guy. I like watching the guy rap.
I don't. That's the whole point, is that it's a viral dance.
Oh, is this the couple that you sent me, Spot?
It's a guy being interviewed, and the funny thing is that he's like, I rapped on a show once, and he says it. It's not like they say they auto-tuned it. It's him actually doing that rap. They barely did anything to it. They just added a beat behind it.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
Yeah, play it now.
Hold on.
My money don't jiggle jiggle.
About rap.
Can you remember any of the rap that you did?
My money don't jiggle jiggle, it folds. I like to see you wiggle wiggle, for sure. It makes me wanna dribble dribble. You know, riding in my Fiat, you really have to see it. 6 feet 2 in a compact, no slack. But luckily the seats
You want me to
go
do
back.
this?
I got a knack to relax in my mind, sipping some red wine.
Song is ingrained in my head right
You know
now.
who did it this morning? I saw. Go to our old pal from ESPN. Janelle did it. Our pal Janelle
Oh, I
just
already
did it.
saw that. She did it yesterday.
She did it yesterday. I mean, everyone's doing it. It's the fun trend. My money don't jiggle jiggle. It folds.
Is that what they're
No,
saying?
Nicole from the Morning Mashup just posted it like a couple days also. Like everyone, it's. I'm surprised you're not like well aware, because I feel like it's everywhere.
Sent it to you a week ago.
Yeah.
I'm
It's
sure
everywhere.
I've seen it. That shit like that doesn't interest me. So I'm like, next. Need some breastfeeding videos. Next. Next.
Clearly, our feeds are way different.
Yeah.
I don't see
You
that
do
shit.
send us a lot of breastfeeding videos. Like, you see,
No,
saw
I'm
another
proving
one.
my case. Like,
Saw
yeah.
another one. But
Oh,
you
this
know
is
what I never see?
normalizing, right? Yeah, sure it is.
You know what I never see? Breastfeeding videos. So it must be.
I've never
We
seen
talked
it.
about
I've
this. I
never
was like,
seen
what
one.
is this bullshit about trying to normalize it? You're just showing your tatties off. Give me a break.
About rap.
Can you remember any of the rap that you did?
My money don't jiggle jiggle, it folds. I like to see you wiggle wiggle.
No, man, it's just narcissism.
Dribble dribble.
This is what I
You
see.
know, riding in my Fiat,
I love Janelle,
you really
though.
have to see it. 6 feet 2 in a compact, no slack. But luckily the seats go back. I got a knack to
Spot, you wanna do it together?
relax in my mind. Sipping some red wine. Nice.
I mean,
Seeing our TikTok dances would be fire. I agree, Jay. I agree.
That's a 28, 29-year-old hot Cuban girl. We're 45-year-old men.
That's what makes it funny.
That's what makes it funny.
Who doesn't dance? I'm not into that.
Two old dudes doing young TikTok dances. It's great. I love it.
If it's not Vatos in the Wild or breastfeeding or something, yeah, you're not seeing
Oh
it.
yeah, Foo's Gone Wild.
Yeah, Fool's Gone Wild. That's on your.
That's what I get. What's up, fool? What's up, fool? I don't see that shit.
Well,
All right,
my
so
money don't jiggle jiggle.
That's
By the
funny.
way,
This song sucks, but that's
it's
funny.
not a song. It was an interview. So it's like chicken shop date from the UK.
Yeah.
It's this guy was being interviewed, and it's supposed to be like this girl's supposed to be really awkward, and she like does this. You're on a date with your guest, and she sits in this chicken shop, which is just a chicken, like fried chicken, and she asked him like, "I heard you rap. Do you remember any of the raps?" And just like this,
He goes into it.
He just goes right into it. There's
My
no
money
setup.
don't jiggle
He's like,
jiggle.
I just
"My
don't
money
understand
jiggle
why
jiggle."
you
Folks.
guys like. I could see Jerry O'Connell doing this fun-loving sort of dance, having fun with it. That's just not my style, dude. And it never seems.
What is
to,
your
like,
style,
get
though?
Into your brain that's not like my style.
But what is
if
your
it's
style?
yours, here's what's hilarious about the whole thing. Instead of just doing it, you like to like drag me into it and use me as a crutch and excuse to not do it. I'm telling you straight up, I have no interest in doing stuff like that.
That's not your style. What is your
It's
style?
Not that. That's
But
not
what
my
is your style?
I don't do that.
But what is your style?
Everything other than that. To me, that's teenage bullshit. I get it. And there's some people that get away with it. Like I mentioned, like a Jerry O'Connell. I could see him like being goofy doing that. That's not me. But if that's you, who's stopping you? Nobody. So stop using me as an excuse. I'm telling you, do it. Go have fun. And for you to condescendingly say, well, then what is your style?
Yeah, what is your style?
It's
I'm just
not
curious.
that corny
I'm just curious.
shit.
What-
I'm not a 20-something-year-old child.
Here's the original. So it's like these two UK music producers. They were like, they add auto-tune random news clips.
I have rapped in a program I did, a Weird Weekends episode about rap.
Can you remember any of the rap that you did?
My money don't jiggle, jiggle. Just like that. Just went right into it. You wiggle, wiggle, for sure. And make me want to dribble, dribble. You know, riding in my Fiat, you really have to see it. 6 feet 2 in a compact. No slack, but luckily the seats go back. I got a knack to relax.
I just grew up different than you guys.
Lonnie said if it's not your style, that's what makes it cool and funny. That's the point.
I do shit when I want to do shit, not just because it's a trend and that's the thing. If I'm in the mood to do it, maybe I'll do it. If I'm feeling fun, maybe I will. But it's not in my nature to want to do that shit. It's just not. You know, and it's not me being stubborn. It's not being reluctant. It's not me being in my own way and in my head. It's just not who I am, period. And it's, you know, you're a product of your environment.
Is it
like,
because
I
your
don't
money?
think I wouldn't see any of my friends growing up doing that shit.
Is it because your money does jiggle and it doesn't fold?
I really don't even like the song, to be honest. But I don't mind the trend.
It's not a song.
I mean, what is it then? A jingle?
It's an auto. It's like
It's
a news.
it's a little funny clip.
Yeah, funny clip.
It's not like on Spider Harrison's countdown.
Number one this week. My money don't jiggle. Hey, look, hey, man.
Random dude.
That's the trend. That wasn't the song I was talking about. What was the other one you brought up?
What are you talking about?
You brought up 2 songs.
2 songs. That and, he's talking about the Russian song that
Yeah,
everyone loves that
what's
no one
that
knows the
one?
lyrics.
Well, tell me about it.
What is?
I don't even know. I don't know the name of it, but all these girls dance to this Russian song. It's like, if translated by a Russian, you realize it's vulgar as hell.
Why do I feel like this has happened before, though?
We've brought up this song before.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but you still see it once in a while, but it's so vulgar.
I know it's like kicks in, right? Oh no, wait, this isn't the one. Sorry, there's another one. I think this is it.
Yeah, that's it.
I'm a boomer for sure.
Yeah, this song.
Whatever you say, Jeff. I didn't grow up like a cornball. I don't do these things.
I think people just think it's like a catchy song, but apparently it's like a filthy foreign song.
Yeah.
That's a Russian song?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Apparently it slaps.
That song does slap.
Bitch understands my style.
They play that on TikTok radio still, I think, all the time.
Jesus from the
so you
barrio.
can get away with cursing on radio if it's
if it's foreign?
if it's foreign.
Yeah,
I think
well,
so.
no, I mean, TikTok radio is uncensored.
I think so. Anyway, we've posed a question in the past here on the show. It's like, if you had riches, fortune, and glory.
Yeah.
Meaning riches, fortune, and glory, or riches, fortune,
Either.
glory.
Either. If you had endless limits and endless money, what would you do as far as an adjustment in your life? Rich jokingly said something. His standard answer was, I'd want to have brand new socks for every day of the week.
And it's not even, my buddy Mike and I, we're talking about this. He wants to take an idea to Shark Tank.
Mike and Ike?
And he's like,
You want to give it away to Mario Rangel, the entrepreneurs that are listening?
yeah. I mean, because I'm never going to really do it. But he's like, there's got to be a way. He goes, if they mass produce, if they make socks and charge a lot of money and Bombas makes money and they charge a ton of money, he goes, there's got to be some type of provider that would make it so that it's like, you could have like $1 a day socks or like there was a deal like $300 and you got
like those razor blade companies that are like,
yeah, there's got to be something where you can wear new
Dollar
socks.
Shave, what are they called?
Yeah, like Dollar Shave Club. There's got to be like Dollar Sock Club where for $1 a day you get a new pair of socks and then you donate them or throw them out because they're almost like quality enough to wear but disposable.
Yeah, that's also so wasteful, isn't it?
If they're biodegradable or reusable, there's got to be that's why you got to have someone really think this out. But
there
the
is
idea
something-
of a fresh new pair of socks.
There is a feeling, and by the way, Rich, I also have a thought about a feeling that you have, right? So there is a feeling that you have when you put on a nice brand new pair of socks.
Oh, yeah.
You're like, oh, yeah. So there's something to be said about that, especially if you wear white socks. Unless you're Frank Thomas, I don't understand why you would. I haven't worn white socks since the Harold Baines days. I'm not even kidding you.
I haven't wore them since the scandal.
No, No, seriously. But like, if you wear white socks, putting on a fresh pair of white ones, that must feel nice.
Yeah.
So Rich's dumb thought, but it's funny and it makes sense. If he had endless limits, I mean,
Endless limits.
celebrities do it with sneakers and shoes and clothes all the time. Like,
Yeah.
one wear, give me another pair of Air Force Ones. I want them fresh. If there's a crease, I don't want them. I'll donate them. I'll give them away. Rich was saying he wants to be rich enough to have socks, brand new pair every day of the week. Throw them away.
Wasteful.
Wasteful.
Yes, but there's got to be, maybe that's how I become a fucking millionaire, billionaire. Maybe I become the guy that invents the daily sock.
Just gives you that fresh feeling.
Well, let me tell
right?
you, the biggest change.
If you have a dirty asshole, you always have that fresh feeling with your brand new pair of socks.
You know, someone will argue even a next step for me, but I have to tell you, one of the best decisions I ever made in my life. We've talked about this before, and I forgot to bring this up. Remember, you talked about the little changes you make that are huge? When I started using daily disposable contact lenses, like life changer. So I know people will be like, get LASIK. That's a story. That's a different story. You got to be a candidate, and then who knows if you want to do it. But the idea of like taking my contacts out, putting them in a solution, cleaning them, seems like something I did 50 years ago.
Right.
A long time ago.
So Rich wants to do the same thing with
I
socks.
feel like there's certain things where you just want to be like, I'm done. When I take my contacts out at night and I throw them away,
anything else
I want to be
you're
like
done
socks.
with, though? Because I feel like as a guy who's growing up, who has big dreams and goals, and is on his quest of fortune and glory, there is a thing that I'm tired of. And that's where I'm getting at. And I was brought to this by a song I heard. There's a song, and it's none of the songs that we just played. There's a song on the new Chili Peppers album, Unlimited Love, called The Great Apes. Now, I don't know what it's about.
Is he also singing like an Irish song in this?
No.
Or like a sea shanty when he sings?
No,
Hey,
this
everyone.
is, you don't have to play it.
Was it The Great?
It's called The Great Apes, right?
Got it.
And I'll just read you the lyrics. I love this song. There's so many levels to it. It's great. There's a line, and I'll read it, Spot. But this is the song. Here it goes.
She's a boxcar rolling by.
Boxcar rolling by.
All right, it's in the chorus. So anyway, he says, all my love and half my kisses, superstars don't do the dishes. I just want the great apes to be free. So there's like weird metaphors and things going on there I don't even know about. Maybe it's just bullshit and that's how he writes songs. I don't know. But he goes, all my love and half my kisses, superstars don't do the dishes. The great apes to be free. As a great ape, I feel like I'm beyond doing dishes at some point.
Didn't I ask a celebrity that once? I was like, when was the last time you did your
And
laundry?
it dawned on me. I'm like, Anthony Kiedis do dishes. I wonder if any of these motherfuckers do dishes. Guess what I don't want to do anymore? Dishes. I'm not saying I'm above it now. I'm saying I want to get to a point. Mentally, I feel like I am. Because when I see that, I'm like, oh. Especially when you come home from work and they're still there and it's like a game of dishes chicken and you're like, oh. It's like I'm so beyond it, past it. And I'm wondering if these celebrities, do they do it at all?
Don't you have a dishwasher?
All of them?
You have a
Yeah, but I
dishwasher.
don't want to I'm when they're in the sink, I'm like, I don't even like it. This great ape just wants to be free of that.
Don't you just like rinse the dish and put it in the dishwasher?
No, they pile up and then I put them. Then they all go in the
Yeah, you know what?
dishwasher.
It's
not one and then
Gotcha.
one.
No,
and
I
then.
usually go like.
Yeah, but it's just you and Kristen
I'll
too.
eat.
I mean, not that it's much different for me.
It's you and
but
Jordan plus
shit
Melody
adds
every
up.
so often.
Yeah, it's you and Jordan. What dishes do you have?
First of all, I have Melody Monday, Tuesday, Friday, and every other weekend. It's not like she's like a guest stopping by every once in a
she's
while.
eating seaweed in the other
Monday,
room. What is she-
Tuesday, Friday, and every other weekend. That means Friday,
how many
Saturday, and
plates
Sunday.
is she using?
Are you kidding me? She eats like a truck driver, dude.
I got a question. Do you?
It is a little different. And I was actually saying that on behalf of Rich before you guys get all jerky about it.
Do you unwrap your keto
Rich
bar? put
probably
it on
has
a plate?
dishes left and right.
Do you eat your keto bar with a fork and a knife and
Dude,
fork
but
on a
it's
plate?
a lot less. It's a lot more simple when it's just two adults and they're like, rinse, put away, rinse, put away. Things pile up. And my thought recently, based on that song, was like, yeah, the great apes do need to be free. I'm with you, Kiedis. And as a great ape myself, I don't want to do this anymore. I'm sick of this. Superstars don't do the dishes.
I don't
done.
mind the
Eventually.
dishes.
Really?
You know what I
hate it. It's
you
for
know
the
what I'm
birds,
sort
man.
of over.
It's for the birds and putting them away, putting them in. I don't like it. I don't like it.
I will say this: when I do my annual cake cupping, with, cake cupping with Maria Menounos, which is what I'm going to call it from now on. She has a help. She has a housekeeper or whatever, maid, whatever you
Tony
call it.
Maselli?
A nanny. I don't know, whatever you call it. Whatever
spot.
She has house help. So during the day we're doing stuff. She'll clean some stuff, but once the house help comes over, they do everything. They're cleaning the counters. They're cleaning the bowls. They're like, here, you need this. Here you go. So it's like it's kind of nice.
This song
Superstars don't do the dishes. Good point.
Have someone to do stuff for you.
This song could have like crazier, deeper meaning that I don't even know about. But from the simplest form of interpretation, I'm like, yeah, he's right. So I don't want to do them eventually. Because I hate it. I really, really do. And I'm not saying I'm too good to clean my house and clean the toilets and wash down the counters and mop the floors. I do all that shit. Yeah. Of course. Why wouldn't I? That's no surprise. I'm saying this specifically is some shit I'm really like done with. I hate it.
Yeah, I don't care.
And when I hear that line, I'm like, it hits me right here in the heart. I'm like, he's right about that.
I don't care so much about the dishes. To me,
well, but there's got to be something for you.
My answer would be way more.
What would be the life change?
Way more in the realm of laundry.
Superstars don't do the laundry?
I just feel like
it doesn't rhyme with kisses, but
I feel like there is a permanent pile of laundry that no matter how
again, kids, is craziness.
No matter how much you try to get ahead of it, like right now, like this, our washing machine is running every day. Yet, if you went in my bedroom right now, there's like a monstrous pile of laundry. Emmy's got a full laundry basket, but like, didn't we just do laundry yesterday?
Never ending.
It's never ending.
Never ending laundry. Oh. So,
Never ending laundry.
Again, when I hear that song, it resonates with me.
The never ending story?
No, the Great Apes, because it hits me with a 2-part doozy that I'm like, yeah, he's right. Superstars don't do the dishes, and I just want the Great Apes to be free.
Enjoys cleaning.
No, yes, they do. Yeah, I do. I find it therapeutic.
I like cleaning.
I don't mind cleaning. But I like cleaning when I want to, not when Jordan is like, tapping her foot waiting.
I like straightening up. And I like straightening up and cleaning and all that. In fact, I'm doing a deep cleaning of my house.
Who's coming over?
Somebody's coming over.
What's his name?
Oh, no, he's leaving.
No, I'm doing a deep cleaning of my house.
What's his name?
When the kids aren't here. I'm going to Texas on Thursday. I come back next week. And when I come back, Sarah and the kids don't come back for another like 4 days or 5 days. When it's just me in this house, I'm going to go through each room. I'm talking I'm talking baseboards. I'm talking like dust on the recessed lighting. Like I'm going to I'm going to go through the whole house like a Covino, like a meticulous, like,
I love spending other people's money.
You do.
You should spring for like one of those maid services that goes around and like
topless maids.
I
see the ads.
Topless maids while Sarah's out of town.
Would Sarah get mad if I hired a topless maid while she was out of town?
Here's the thing, though.
Is that fair? Is that Sarah?
Dudes. They're dudes. But no, topless maid.
Hi, my name's Connor.
Like I've
Where should I start?
Like maybe once a month or every other month, just to give Kristen a break. Because let's be honest, Kristen's my maid. To go around and just like do a little deep cleaning, like clean the sinks and the toilets and the floors and the baseboards.
You know what? Maybe how much is a cleaning person a one time? Because if you have a permanent cleaning person, they probably have like your monthly deal or weekly deal.
If you plan it out far enough in advance, like if you called now, I'm sure you could find someone to do
$100,
yeah,
$200. I don't know, but this
you don't want to be wasteful and
it's like I feel like I should do. I feel like I could do it.
Like. Because I've lived that life, and it's great. It really is to have help, and someone comes and cleans your shit. That's fantastic.
You wasted a lot of money.
Yeah, but and I don't want to be
that's why I said one time
ahead of myself.
Just to keep like you do the maintenance, but a one-time payment. Timothy Durga brought up a good one. Having someone do meal prep for you. I love to cook.
That'd be great.
But if the day-to-day.
I like it.
I loved, but like I like to cook elaborate meals or like cook for like Sunday dinner or something like that.
As grueling as the whole dishes scenario, though.
The day to day,
I hate that.
Is so annoying. It's like, all right, what am I going to prep for? Because I eat 3 to 4 meals a day. What am I going to prep for lunch? What am I going to prep for first dinner? What am I going to prep for second dinner? If I could just go in the fridge and be like, here's those meal services, which cost a lot of money.
Yeah.
But to have it all prepped for me based on my needs would be great.
Look, it's subjective. So I posed a question to you.
It's a good one. You don't want to do dishes?
Superstars don't do the dishes. That's my goal. It's not that I'm too good. I just really hate it. And I think it's worse than laundry because I'm with you. That sucks too.
No,
Rich.
laundry's the worst,
When you
dude.
got to fold it all.
Yeah,
and you're
but
like,
that-
where's
yeah,
this
there's so many
sock?
steps.
Where's this sock?
Come on.
You didn't. And then Jordan does like laundry and like she does it in halves. Like she doesn't do it all at once.
Rich.
So anyway,
You have
folding
you
it.
have a landscaper and a pool guy. To me, those are the same as having a housemaid. There are people that do their own lawns.
It's true.
Because they don't feel like spending the money, and it's therapeutic to them.
Superstars don't clean their own pool.
There are guys who love riding on their mowers or pushing around their mowers and doing the weed whacker.
Yeah, so you're on your way. Rich is there.
We've said that is a luxury.
Yeah.
I know you think it's a bit.
It is.
It's a regular, but it is.
Well, I don't know. Everyone on my block has the same pool
It's still
person.
a
But
luxury.
no one-
You live in a
fully
luxurious
capable, dude.
neighborhood.
You're fully capable of doing that.
Yes.
My pool?
Yeah. What do you mean your pool? Yeah. Get a vacuum.
You skim it
I have a
out.
vacuum in my pool.
You skim.
Then you skim it. You
skim
can't
I
skim
skim
it.
my pool, but the person that does the chemicals and make sure is they make sure
Yeah, you
everything's
can put
set.
chemicals
You're
in.
capable of
I
it.
did that when I was 10
You're
10 years
capable.
old.
Yeah, you
I mean,
did. So did
I'm
I.
not-
You know why? Because
I'm not
you,
saying-
me, and Spot all had shitty fucking above ground circle pools in
Hold
their
on,
yard.
I'm
You
not
think that's the
saying
same as an
you're
in-ground
wrong.
pool with filter systems?
You
Come on.
deserve to have these luxuries,
You had a fucking
man.
pool,
But
your
you're
brother
capable.
jumped in it and it broke, Spot.
It's true. It did. He jumped in it.
You had a pool where if you went in a circle, you made too big of a whirlpool
I
and
love
fucking
that.
exploded.
It's a good way to clean the pool.
A lot of people on the East Coast have above ground pools.
I'll tell you why
Don't knock
the dishes thing is worse than laundry, though. And laundry, another one for the birds, but
It's not.
when you have it's always dumped on the bed or the couch, right? You could watch TV or music while you're doing that. You can't really watch your TV while you're doing the whole dishes scene. So Superstars don't do the dishes. That's my goal. And the Chili Peppers album, the new one, rocks.
Oh yeah. Fold down TV in your kitchen.
Yeah, I just think you're.
man.
I think dishes are like especially
Especially when
it's
I
like
hear that song, I'm like, yeah, Ketis is right.
when you're dealing with 2.5 people. I think dishes, because I'm fine with the kid. The kids make double the dishes that we do, but I just think that dishes are easy. Put them in the dishwasher and clean them. Laundry is like you have to wait 50 minutes, an hour for a cycle, then the dryer, then fold them, put them away.
a drag.
Laundry stinks.
Are you the half person?
I'm saying his daughter's with him half the time, so he's got like 2.5 people of dishes.
Are you the half person?
I'm the half person.
Yeah, he's the half person. Yeah.
I feel like it's a set.
But I never half step because I'm not a half
The annoying
stepper.
thing is the folding. The laundry is a set it and forget it kind of thing. It's so easy. You put it in and then you just take it from one to the other.
Set it and forget it.
It really is.
Since we're on this
You know what's
discussion,
annoying on my thing? Kristen has her like her workout gear, and she's like, "Those don't go in the dryer." So now I have to go through each item in the laundry, and I'm like, okay, does this go out? Does this stay in? Does this go? And then I have to hang up shit.
Superstars don't do the dishes. Superstars don't do the laundry. Superstars don't put that weird fitted sheet on the bed either, because that's another nightmare for me. I'm like, oh.
No, they don't fold the fitted sheet.
I get so like, there's a feeling that I get that's like, I shouldn't be doing this because I hate
You know
it.
what I like to do?
But I have to because I'm a human. But this great ape needs to be free of it.
I stand right, and I put one corner on my one foot, one corner on the other, one corner on my hand, one corner on the other hand, and I jump on the bed and wrap around, and it puts the sheet on.
Oh, like a flying squirrel?
Yeah.
Spotty the flying squirrel.
What a visual. All right, so anyway, you can see where my thought process was, because it's a weird line that Anthony Kiedis throws in this like deep song, and that's nothing new for the Chili Peppers, but I'm like, yeah, I agree. So throwing it out there for you. And then, speaking of feelings, I have another really dumb thought.
Hold on, I have one more. I'm
cool.
reading the feedback. Gruba hit us up.
Again, yeah, it's subjective. This is I'm on that page though.
Gruba said, baller status, like you don't want to do dishes. He said, how nice would it be to get your hair cut at least once a week, but not have to worry about going somewhere or making an appointment, like having someone like,
that's nice.
Just like on the
It
weekly,
is.
like have someone come in, trim me up, and then clean up the hair. Like just
you know why?
Have an on standby.
Much like the fresh pair of socks, there's a feeling that you get, and I bring that up because my next discussion has to do with the feeling that you have. The haircut. When you get that fresh cut, the feeling that you have is like almost of a clean slate. Like, yeah, man, I'm feeling fresh now, fresh to death. This is good. I love it. You look in the mirror, give yourself a little point. You're feeling good again. if you had that luxury like ballers do in their home, man, Gruba's right about that. Hey, I need a quick trim right now. Yeah, hey. That is a nice one. But then you have to have a little seat in your house. Some guy on standby. It's a lot.
Let me read the feedback.
But people
here.
have it.
Like you hire a guy.
People have personal barbers that come.
You hire a guy that comes with one of those vans because that's a new trend now.
Yeah.
Where they have their own like box car or like RV. And
Not only dog groomers, human groomers now.
Yeah, no, they drive up. You go out into the little van. It's like a full barber setup, and you get your shit done.
Yeah, way back Wednesday,
Our boy John Diesel does that.
I had so many thoughts last night because I couldn't sleep. I actually thought about what Gruba's talking about. I swear to God, not even making this up, because it is a priority. Like to feel fresh. I love that feeling of getting a haircut. I started thinking about like my old, like junior high school pictures. I don't think I got a fresh, tight fade until I was like in high school, 9th, 10th grade. So you had that weak ass like box cut with no fade whatsoever for all that time. And I'll never forget the first tight fade I got. I'm like, man, this is how it was supposed to be that whole time? This shit is tight. And I never looked back.
That shit is tight.
But Gruba's right. Any other feedback?
Sheena in the Valley says, what's up?
Hey, what's up, Sheena?
Robbie looks like Vato Spacey Terrio checking in. The family's got the vid, so he's at home chilling.
What's up, Vato Spacey?
Mario Rangel. Mario Rangel wanted to remind us one thing. Earlier when we were talking about sleeping naked, he says he does, but does it count that he wears one of his leather belts? Just nothing else.
You said that, remember?
Nothing else.
I made that joke.
Oh, you made that joke?
Oh,
He
well,
made that joke.
Yeah, it was a funny one. It was a good one.
But I didn't see his joke. I made him on my own.
Okay.
Deja vu.
Having a chauffeur is next level. That's from David Castillo. Like if you're just like, yo, I want to go somewhere.
You know what? I wouldn't mind that.
I'll give you an example. Like I'm going to the airport on Thursday, and going to the airport on Thursday,
Yeah.
I'm thinking to myself,
The world would be
what
a
do
better
I want to
place.
do? So
by
I'm
the
parking.
way-
I'm parking at the airport on Thursday. I'm going to go a little early. I'm going to do long-term parking, like 3 minutes from the airport, where I think it's $100 for a week, where
not bad.
it's usually like $40-50 a day at the airport. So I'm going to go a little earlier, drop the kids and Sarah off at the gate, at the terminal, go park, and then, meet them later. But
Do you know who the comedian Christina P is?
Christina P?
I don't know who she is, but she's got a new special on Netflix.
Oh, no.
Her whole promo of the comedy special that's out right now, Mom Jeans, you had to have seen
I've seen
it.
Mom G. I didn't. Yeah, I've seen the ad. Yeah.
Is after the age of 40, if you're still asking people for rides to the airport, she's
Mhm.
like, it's the weakest thing ever. Like, you don't have $50. And I wanted to bring that up because you're
Well,
like
I,
notorious for asking for rides to the airport.
Well, yeah. I mean, because I think it's something. I don't know. I just think it's something you do for people. I think it's like because it's to me, it's not $50. It's like nowadays, it's like a waste of $100. So it's like, don't you rather be like, yo, I'll buy you lunch or something and give your buddy a few bucks? Not every airport's as annoying as LAX. So around the country, if your buddy's like, yo, a ride, like for instance, going to the airport sometimes could be more pricey than your airline ticket.
So think about this and really put it in perspective. What Rich is saying, what David said, chauffeur. Like, I'm thinking Howard Stern has had a driver for how many years now?
Ronnie the limo driver is now became part of their life because he was so involved.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, celebrities or people with money really have so little to deal with compared to the average person when you really think about it.
But they all have more to deal with in other aspects.
There's other problems that come along with it, right? I get it. I get all that. But I doubt a guy like Howard Stern, he doesn't even drive himself anywhere. I doubt he does his dishes. I doubt he puts that sheet over his bed like Spotty said. I doubt he folds his laundry. Like, think about that life. I doubt he cleans a swimming pool.
You become a little disabled, though.
Look, there's pros and cons. I'm saying really think about it, though.
Yeah, I want to be a man of the people.
There's a humbleness about that that is charming and that's needed, I think.
Like the joke is that he's complaining about the AC in his.
Yeah. So all I'm saying is I don't want to do the dishes. That's all I'm saying. But really think about that.
But there are luxuries. Reading the feedback, Kyle saying, "Why don't you take an Uber? Would you rather have the Uber driver make the money or the airport? Uber would be significantly more expensive and of a hassle because I'm driving with two kids. I have to give an Uber driver come here, load two cars. First of all, I have to order an Uber What would it be, XL or black?
And that's like
That would be like $200 to the airport.
okay.
Load the kids in.
Gas is expensive, guys.
Yeah, load the kids in. Then get to the airport, unpack the fucking car seats. It would just be like the biggest annoyance. And that's $200 each way. So you're looking at $400 to get to and from the airport with 2 kids. So figure I'll park a block away from the airport. No? Like 5 blocks from the airport?
Why not?
$100 for 6 days?
Yeah.
If you buy in advance,
There it
they
is.
give you the deal.
Well, bam. And by the way, we are live tomorrow. Rich leaves tomorrow after the show for Texas. So just some dumb thoughts based on that song. You know, what's your answer? Feel free to share it on our social media pages at Covino and Rich or on Facebook or text us 412 the letter CNR show. Now, you want something or do you really want some more dumb I couldn't sleep thoughts?
I have a lot of things I know you have a dumb thing. I just want to keep reading some of the feedback because a lot of good stuff today. That's why this is from Stu. That's why I hate we all have the same 24 hours thing.
We don't.
We don't. Regular people have to spend time maintaining life and just keeping things together.
Mm-hmm.
So
it's true.
When Mark Wahlberg's waking up at 5 a.m. to do a workout, yeah, he's busting his ass. But guess what he doesn't do? Mark Wahlberg's not doing his dishes. You know,
He's
Mark,
not. No,
Mark,
dude, honestly, I'm a little envious of that.
J-Lo's
Like,
working
man.
out. J-Lo looks that way at 50-something.
Yeah.
Because she works out and busts her ass. But you know why? Because J-Lo doesn't have to waste an hour doing her
not
kid.
doing- she's not doing dishes either.
She's not doing
She's not putting
Emmy's
them away.
laundry.
She's not doing that.
She's not doing her daughter Emmy's laundry. Read some of the feedback on the text.
That's a
massage.
question I do want to ask a lot. Hey, Kelly Clarkson, you look so happy all the time. You don't do your dishes, do you? I don't. That must be it.
By the way, Christina P. is Tom Segura's wife. She is very funny. I've seen her on podcast clips.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But you know that they would be like, no, I do. Sometimes.
Yeah, I don't know.
Some are more interactive than others when they're
Yeah, it depends. I mean, some people take pride in that stuff. This in particular, I take no pride in. I want nothing to do with it.
Kyle in PA says things that I think must apply to his small town wherever he lives. It's like find an Uber driver that'll pay you that you could pay $60 and he'll drive you anytime you need to go to the airport. Is that how it works in small towns?
Maybe.
Why would someone take $60 if they could get $200? And do you think like people are driving Ubers all around the whole valley and Hollywood and everything?
People are constantly going to the airport around here.
Yeah.
And by the way, if you're just listening, the stats are in. 64% of our listening audience right now, 64% sleep in underwear only.
That's
and
the
now you know.
There you go, Spot. We're in the majority. How about that?
64%.
Oh, by the way, it's right on par. 15% say they sleep naked, which it's 17% is the average stat.
This seems to be
20% fully clothed and 64% in underwear.
We're taking our own stats as the show goes on. Right here on our Patreon.
I just ended the poll.
On YouTube Live. So 64% underwear only. Thanks for all the feedback, guys. We appreciate you.
Underoos.
Any other
I think we're good.
feedback you want to read?
But nothing relevant right now.
Okay.
Oh, you were talking about lyrics though?
Yeah.
Can I throw something out there this morning just for the hell of it? I feel like when you're on SXM Turbo.
Do you agree the Great Apes should be free though?
I've always thought that.
Okay.
And you see him, I see the Great Ape throwing shit at the zoo. He's mad.
Yeah.
He wants to be free.
I was thinking about like Harambe and other apes that I admire. I'm like, yeah. Well, the shitty life they must have.
Dicks out for Harambe.
Yeah.
Do you think, I have 2 questions down. Sleeping naked, I thought, we'll have one more thought. Is it determinate? Is determinate a word? I'm going to make it a word.
Determinate.
Is it determinate your age? Like if you're 28 or 30 or even 40, like sleeping naked or sleeping with not much on, you still might look good. If you're like 77, are you sleeping naked? Don't you feel like after a while, it's like, no one wants to see this? Like, isn't there like
there's an evolution.
Like, I don't know if anyone wants to see this anymore.
I think my dad now, he's approaching 69, 70-ish, right?
69.
I think he sleeps in clothes.
Oh, they call that homo style. No, I'm serious. I saw someone say when you sleep with like your shirt, jeans, and socks on, that's called because you're sleeping the way a hobo would.
Yeah, because every time, I mean, again, this is what I see when I'm there, watching Ancient Aliens, sitting there watching some sci-fi horse shit, which I also like, but he watches it constantly. And probably because he's seen every episode of Unexplained, he falls asleep and he has his clothes on the couch.
I think my grandfather spent the last 10 years of his life sleeping on his recliner, fully clothed every night.
Yeah.
I don't think my grandfather didn't wear clothes for the last 10 years of his life.
I don't know. Maybe that is just,
Grandpa fell asleep on his recliner again every night.
And fully clothed.
You were talking about lyrics, and when you're on SXM Turbo,
and lithium all week.
And lithium, I can imagine that.
Give me the job.
You're keeping it topical and relevant of sports and pop culture and news headlines, and you're throwing in little current day things. But there's only so many references that you can make sometimes to 30 and 20-year-old songs.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's Pearl Jam again on Lithium.
Do you know why they hired me to be on Ozzy's Boneyard? Because it's hard and heavy classic rock. There's a term that they use, and I like it because I feel it describes Rich and I in the show perfectly.
Oh, well, what do they describe it as?
Classic through a current lens.
Okay, that makes sense. Okay.
They want you to talk up the classics, but through a current day lens of jiggle wiggle. You're talking about things that are going on today.
Yeah, so you're talking up.
My money don't jiggle jiggle.
Yeah, you're talking about jiggle jiggle.
Jiggle. Hear then think on Pop 2K.
Yeah, I
See
mean
wiggle wiggle.
So
show.
I sometimes I look things up because I'm like, all right,
dribble.
I've made this same stupid joke 50 times. So, all right, what else could I talk about when it comes to Alien Ant Farm, Smooth Criminal? So I looked up the song, and of course, Michael Jackson, Smooth Criminal pops up first. And the first paragraph of its Wikipedia. Let me ask Spot. The chorus of Smooth Criminal is what?
Annie, are you okay?
Annie, are you okay? Are you okay? Are you okay,
Annie?
Annie? Are you okay, Annie? Do you know what that even means?
I do not. I feel like I did at one point, but I don't.
Covino said the same thing, and then he heard me say it, and he's like, yeah, I think I knew that. I'm like, I don't know if you knew that, or are you doing a Covino mind trick
no,
thing?
I've definitely heard it. I wouldn't have.
You've been hit by.
Wouldn't have thought of the answer.
Is it Annie Oakley?
Annie, are you okay? The whole chorus to one of the most popular songs of our childhood. Annie, are you okay? Are you okay? Are you okay,
Frank.
Annie? And honestly, a hit again.
Smooth Criminal. So let's see. It's the 80s and
You'll never know.
And
they're referring to Annie.
Get your gun.
Resuscitator. The Annie doll.
Oh.
That when people do CPR, they call that doll Annie Resuscitate. That's the name of the doll.
No, I think it's the other way around.
Resuscitate.
Resuscita Annie. Resuscita Ann. And
No, but there's multiple names for it.
Annie and Resuscita Andy.
If you look up if you look up if you look up the Wikipedia for Resuscita Annie, there's multiple names. Some people call it Annie Resuscitator, Resuscita Annie, and it's when you're doing CPR in training.
Resuscita Ann. Yeah.
The first thing you do when someone's like not well, you're like, "Are you okay, Annie?"
Also known as Rescue Annie, Resuscita Annie, CPR Annie, Resuscitation Annie, Little Annie, and CPR doll.
Yeah.
I know
How the fuck does Michael Jackson make a song with the most obscure Annie, are you okay? Resuscitate Annie, and no one really.
Annie, are you okay? In Smooth Criminal was inspired by Resuscita Annie because you're supposed to say, Annie, are you okay? While practicing. Because before you approach someone in CPR, I don't know if you've ever done CPR training, you're supposed to say,
are you okay?
Excuse, are you okay? And then you're supposed to say it again. Are you okay?
Are you okay? Are you okay? Are you okay? Are you okay? Are you okay? Are you okay?
You're supposed to do it twice before you jump in and do CPR because you're giving someone chest compression.
Yeah, but just dropping a little fun fact that you might say, who cares? But you know what? You're going to share that this week with someone.
And there's a very viral clip that's gone viral again.
Call 911. You go find the defibrillator. It's a little box. It'll be on the wall.
And you've been hit by a smooth criminal.
Stand back. Stand back.
Ludacris was there?
There's a clip of, I'm just trying to, again, make this
stand up.
Topical. There's a viral clip of Michael Jackson on Oprah's show. It's worth looking up on a Way Back Wednesday. Speaking of Michael Jackson.
Have you ever seen the clip of Michael Jackson accepting an award? And he forgets his voice for a second.
Yes. He's like, hello.
Hi. I'm sorry. Is this on?
Yeah. He comes out and it's
that?
real.
No, I've never seen
that. Let's show that.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, it's Michael Jackson.
I'm very honored to get this award.
He's like, hey.
I mean, hi.
Yeah, I've seen that.
It's funny.
Have you ever seen Michael Jackson taking a shit? Oh, it's great.
Oh, that's
but
that's fantastic.
I want to play another
Here's-
clip for you.
Oh wait, here's.
After these two
Stop moving.
Can you hear me?
Blanket.
Hey. I love children. Thank you, everyone.
Honestly, this clip baffles me because you see how talented Michael Jackson is.
Oh, where he's just like,
Yeah, and he gets in his zone.
And she's
so
like-
I think Oprah's asking him, like, tell me about your writing process. He's like, well, let me tell you. I start off with the beat, right? And he's like, he starts beatboxing. But then she's like, dude, she's probably one of the greatest interviewers of all time, right?
Yeah.
It's like, let Michael Jackson do what Michael Jackson does. Shut the fuck up and back off. As an interviewer, you have to know when to shut up and back off because you might be getting something great out of this interview. She like relentlessly stomps all over Michael Jackson.
Michael.
Like Oprah.
Jackson.
You got to be better than that. It's an old clip.
I was singing. Wait.
Yeah. And when you are, for instance, when we were here before. Shut up, You know what? I mean, all the things ever printed in the tabloid, the only thing's ever been true is when they said I couldn't dance. When we were here the last time shooting the commercial, you were like in between shots, running off, conceiving the dance, choreographing.
Shut up, Oprah! You believe that?
Every day, she didn't leave.
her face.
He must want to say, you know, with all due respect, Oprah, I'm in my zone.
Fuck
You're ruining the moment. Like, shut the
fuck off.
Fuck you, Oprah. Are you serious?
Calm down.
One of the greatest interviewers of all time didn't know when to back off because Michael Jackson was in his zone performing for her audience? That baffles me. That's just weird to me. Shut up, Oprah. Even though that's a 30-year-old clip way back on a Wednesday.
I agree with Lonnie. Is she serious?
Yo, I couldn't believe that. So, anyway. You ready for a really another dumb thought?
Of course.
Okay. Again, couldn't sleep, dumb thoughts. It's like rich on edibles, but I really wasn't. No, just having fun conversation. Actually, before I give you the main dumb thought, I'll give you another dumb thought I had.
Gets old to me.
Like a dumb, deep thought I had. Jack Handy style. Rich Davis style. Get your deep thoughts with Rich Davis t-shirt now at shop.covinoandrich.com. Have you really ever thought about your own butterfly effect? And here's why I thought about it.
Yes, I have.
Really? I thought about it because, and I didn't watch this full video yet, but I'm going to. Someone sent me a video of, you got to check this out. It's pretty cool. And it was a 13-minute YouTube video. I'm like, all right, this is when I take a shit later. I don't have time for that right
That's
now.
how you know what? You know how you know you're interested in something?
Yeah.
When you watch something more than 3 minutes.
Yeah.
There were a couple Johnny Depp trial videos. I'm like, 9 minutes? Oh, all right, I'll watch it. But man, I must really want to know what's going on.
Was it the muffin one?
No,
Fuck you. Yes, it was that. No, it was the one I watched recently was
It's Amber Heard doing coke.
Was Amber Heard
on the stand
talking about Kate Moss, and then Johnny Depp and his lawyers are all high-fiving each other.
Yeah, because she blew it.
She blew it.
I assume they were just high-fiving each other because they're like, yeah, Johnny, Kate Moss.
Then there's a clip where Johnny Depp's lawyer steals candy, and Johnny Depp's like, what are you doing?
Well, anyway, I challenge
I saw
myself, and I challenge you listening, you in the car, you at home, you at the office, you at the warehouse, you in the garage, you in your man cave. I challenge you in your bed, whenever you're listening, to really think about your butterfly effect and see the what seemed to be like an unimportant moment that may have changed the trajectory of your life. Here's why, and I could sum it up briefly. They're like, let's look back.
Briefly, is that your Asian friend that wears briefies to bed?
I don't make those jokes anymore.
You can't make those jokes
I'm
anymore.
sorry.
It's racist.
I know. I'm saying throwback.
God,
way back Wednesday.
You want me to dig out the gong? Jesus, Rich.
No, but check this out. This was a cool 13-minute video that I'm going to watch eventually. But the gist was this. I got the gist of it. It was like, how did Aaron Judge end up on the Yankees? Aaron Judge, who had the walk-off home run of a lifetime last night in New York City, in the Bronx. They say to really trace it back, it has to do with the butterfly effect.
Well,
which dates back to 1987, Hideki Irabu. So somehow, all these moving parts of Hideki Arabu playing in Japan in 87, the Yankees acquiring him in the 90s somehow, all led to, through the butterfly effect, the Yankees eventually acquiring the 6'7" mammoth Aaron Judge, 5-6 years ago in the late 20-teens. And you're like, wow, man, they could go that far back on his butterfly effect. How far back could you go?
Well,
and how important were these people in your life that you really don't even give credit to?
Probably to win.
Because I bet you Aaron Judge doesn't know, hey, it all started with Hideki Arabu, the fat toad, as George Steinbrenner called him. He was a Japanese pitcher, one of the first Japanese pitchers to really come here with all this hype around him back in, again, the late 90s, 1997. So it's just an interesting thought. And that applies to anybody on your team. It's like certain moves were made along the way for you to acquire Shohei Ohtani. I mean, fill in the blank. And, these players are so young that it does go back to probably a player that you know.
My life began when my grandparents decided to move next door to my mom's parents decided to move next door to my dad's parents.
Just saying, it's something to think about. And sports-wise, it's pretty interesting.
Something.
Well, what is your own
butterfly effect?
What is your own? What is the? All right, how about this? This is a good way to narrow it down.
I think even from a sports angle, it's kind of cool because Aaron Judge doesn't know that.
Oh, is this sports?
But it was all but it was all those moves.
You have a butterfly effect?
I could probably find a butterfly flapping around. Hang on.
That's what Emmy learned about in school yesterday, just coincidentally. Caterpillars and butterflies. She came home fascinated.
Isn't it beautiful? That
Did
wonderful?
they get the caterpillar in the jar?
Yeah, they did. Yeah.
That was my favorite thing as a kid.
Yeah, that was yesterday. What you learned today, buddy?
That's so magical.
I learned about caterpillars. They turn. I think she thinks they only turn into orange butterflies. I'm like, baby, there's all different colors of butterflies.
It's true.
It's true.
You don't think that's kind of amazing though that they trace back Aaron Judge to Hideki Arabu?
I was listening to you, but you didn't really give the details. What was?
I don't know the details. It's kind of self-explanatory.
I
They
know
got
you-
Arabu, which then they got rid of him. And they got this guy, and they traded that guy for this guy, and that guy, and then this guy he didn't pan out to be the guy they thought he would be, so they got rid of him, and then they acquired that guy, and that's how they ended up with Aaron Judge.
Listening to you,
I don't know all the. It's a 13-minute video. I'm not going to tell you the whole story, but everybody has a butterfly effect. Everybody. But when you feel like you hit the jackpot, like Yankees acquiring Aaron Judge, there's a story behind it.
I'm looking because I knew there were some ones in baseball and football that were like franchise-changing trades that almost or didn't happen. And the first thing that popped up was an NBA article from last year. Blockbuster trades that happened but then didn't happen. Meanwhile, like when I say happened but didn't happen, like the paperwork was in place. Are you ready? Sign.
Like
something fell through.
A-Rod going to the Red Sox.
Like A-Rod going to the Red Sox.
Right. That was. No, he was going to be a Met too at one point.
Yeah. And wasn't the reason he didn't become a Met was like someone didn't pay attention to him in the Michael Jordan in Last Dance. We learned that didn't someone.
You're thinking of Magic Johnson and Nike and Converse.
Didn't someone not know someone's name?
Steph Curry.
Steph Curry went with Under Armour because Nike didn't know his name. Like they called him like Steve Curry or something. And he's like, they're not even investing in me. And him and his dad and everyone's like, let's go with this this new brand that no one really knows much about, Under Armour. Butterfly getting to your spot. Kyrie almost went to the Bucks. If you remember this from Last Dance, at one point, Scottie Pippen was almost traded to the Sonics.
Mm-hmm.
Kevin Garnett almost became a Laker in 07. Like, we're talking about like trades that happened, but then last minute it was like, nope, trades off. Happens in sports. So sports are a good way to track this just because there's outcomes like championships and shit like that.
Well, yeah, by a certain team not acquiring a certain player, they acquired someone else as a result. So, and that applies to you in your life. You ended up with this person because maybe you couldn't even get with that other person.
I have
there's all these different factors that led you. I mean, I'm stating the obvious, but when you see it and I watched a little bit of it, when you see it broken down as to how Aaron Judge ended up there, it does make you think of, some woman, right, chose another guy over me, leaving me to be with Jordan, and that happened time and time again. All those things needed to happen. So it makes you wonder about your own butterfly effect and athletes.
I have
movies, how people ended up in movies.
I have a few butterfly effects that I'm gonna break down, but I have to go get my phone charger. I have 2%. Give me 1 second. It's in the kitchen. Zara's not here.
Sure. So think about that. Stick it up your ass and smoke on it. Now, the next deep thought I have, by the way, we're being attacked by butterflies behind the scenes. If you're not watching, they're all over the place. They're all in Spot's anus. They're all in Uranus, Spot. Butterflies everywhere.
Butterfly
My next dumb thought, and again, the butterfly effect, it's such a common thought. I'm not breaking the glass, but I never thought of how far back it goes to how you got this certain draft pick or to how you acquired this franchise game changer, or how that guy ended up to be this big superstar who got the role in the biggest movie of all time. Someone had to turn it down. Someone had to have a busy schedule. This guy had to be available. Like, there's so many factors involved in these things. So again, to wrap it up, Aaron Judge, you have to go back to 1987. I think that's wild. My next thought is even weaker than that. And I would say there's a plethora of butterflies here in the studio. A plethora. Ready for the next thought? Or do you have more butterfly effect stories, you said? I do. Okay. Let's make it snappy, though, because I don't want it to be Deep Thought Wednesday. I just wanted to throw that out there as a thought. What's your butterfly effect?
There's one sports butterfly effect that I did not know until I read this story like a month ago. Yeah, Spot, if you want to play your sports thing. So desperately.
I love it. I mean, I had lots of sports for later. So
okay.
Yeah, you could save it. And by the way,
do you like playing that, or is it like your...
No, because people mention it on the
I don't know. I was like, why is Spot like anxious to play one? You know,
is it sports? Because I never get to. You always go like you always.
It's like an inside joke.
Jump into
it's
sports.
an inside joke with Spot and people.
You always just jump into sports, and then people are like, "Oh, is it sports?" Because I have the sports intro.
I just don't think it's sports.
Everything you say is sports.
No, it's not, because there's a reason you're working at the place you're working right now.
Yeah,
someone had to leave that job. The position opened up, and it goes back probably as far as the company starts.
So I'm responsible for Sammy J being a historian.
Yes,
you are.
You're part of his butterfly effect that he would never take the time to think about unless we force people to think about it. And that's all I'm saying. When you're taking a Duke later, when you're taking a Grumpy, it's just something to think about. When you're scrubbing your huevos, like, yeah, that guy didn't leave this job. I wouldn't have got the job. Who was there before that guy?
The other butterfly's a little bit more subtle.
Let's hear the story.
Big Ben Roethlisberger. This is a big one, pun intended. He just retired. And apparently, the 49ers had a deal signed to acquire Big Ben Roethlisberger in 2002.
Okay.
In 2002. Not like recently, like 15 plus years ago.
20 years ago.
When he played him. So like 15 years earlier, but roughly 20 years ago. Paperwork was signed. The only person that needed to sign off on the deal, only person, was the 49ers coach at the time, Mike Singletary. Remember the 1 or 2 years that Singletary was the 49ers coach?
I do, yeah.
He said he could not, in good conscience, sign the deal because he thought Alex Smith needed a chance to prove himself, and he didn't want it to seem like a hypocrite because he gave the team a speech about character, and it was with the month within when Big Ben had those allegations against him.
Okay, so think about this. Oh, it was then?
So Big Ben Roethlisberger
But when did they win the Super Bowl?
After that.
Okay, so if it wasn't for Mike Singletary, the Steelers wouldn't have had their franchise quarterback who led them to a Super Bowl and who had a really amazing career.
Oh, I'm sorry, it was 2010 I think it was 20. When was Singletary the coach of the Niners? But the last 10 plus years of his career, Singletary nixed a trade that would have made Big Ben Roethlisberger a
49er.
A 49er for the last decade so of Big Ben's career, he would have been not a Steeler.
And it goes back to
Mike Singletary just would have said, okay.
But again,
Singletary signs that dotted line.
I don't think that's common knowledge. I know all participants and people in the story. I didn't know that. Alex Smith was drafted in 05 because we interviewed him.
Yeah.
And
so
I remember talking to the
this
guy.
was 2010. This was when he thought Alex Smith needed a more of a chance.
I mean, he was a skinny dude.
So Mike Singletary changed the whole trajectory of the NFL at that point.
Yeah, of the NFL, again, not just the Steelers, of the NFL.
Yeah.
So again, depending on your mood and depending how fast your mind's racing, it's either really interesting or not. You just have to be in that right mind space. Now, I'm really asking you to be in the right mind space. Do you have another story?
I have two more.
I want to hear them.
I have two personal butterfly effects that are pretty wild in the big picture.
Let's hear it.
I actually have. Oh shit! I have 4 butterfly. I think it could be quickies, but I have 4 things that are just so arbitrary that if not for these moments, my life would be like crazy. I have 3 personal ones and one of another buddy that I think might be the most wild butterfly effect thing ever. So my ex-girlfriend, Kristen, who I dated for like roughly 5 years, we lived together, bought a house together.
You had a possum together?
We had a Patty the possum. We had
Did you wish her a happy Mother's Day? I mean, I know she has children of her own, but
yeah, but I actually just said happy possum Mother's Day. Spot and I were out and about. I was out with friends drinking when I was in my early 20s. We walked into a bar in downtown Manhattan called the Peculiar Pub.
I remember that. It was peculiar. That place.
It was like such a dive.
Had I not walked into the bar that night and started just small talking with Spot and a couple of the girls that were there, that's where I met my ex Kristen. So we're talking like
you were there when he met her, Spot? Yeah. I don't think I knew that ever.
But it was one of those nights where you remember those nights in New York City where you're just walking around like, want to go to that bar, this bar, this bar? And you're like, how about that one? Boom.
And there's no question that.
You know how many bars are in New York City?
If you weren't there and you didn't meet her, you wouldn't have had the next girlfriend.
Or the girlfriend of the girlfriend
you
of the
wouldn't have been with Sarah now.
Yeah, exactly.
And again, that's obvious, but it's still cool to hear.
So me and Spot just picking that bar, like, hey, you want to go to the... You want to go this one, that bar, this one? You want to go to the cantina across the street? You want to go here? No, let's go to Peculiar Pub. Boom. Change his life.
Imagine if you went to the cantina.
I would be with Maria.
We went to the bitter end instead.
Yeah, what if we went across the street to the bitter end? All those bars out there on Bleecker Street. We chose the one bar where...
Some guy would have been there like, you could be an Abercrombie model. Get a whole different life.
I know.
You would have been naked on a bag.
I know.
You should be an Abercrombie model. You think so?
Another butterfly effect. This is a deep one. My ex-girlfriend, Jen.
Yeah.
If she had not been if Brent Musburger hadn't made a creepy old guy comment about, look at the hot girls here at Florida State, and she hadn't become like internet famous at that time.
It's also the story of Pam Anderson and a few others, right? They were just called out.
Yeah. Brent Musburger's like, oh, there'll be a lot of recruits now to Florida State. Close up of Sturger. She becomes internet popular when the internet just starts becoming a thing.
Mm-hmm.
She's on our show because we do Maxim. If we don't start dating, and that changes my whole trajectory, if she's not pointed out by Brent Musburger. Then, on top of that,
also
she moves to New York.
Don't forget, Rich needed the motivation that day because Rich, remember, swore off dating that day?
Oh, yeah.
It was so random and ironic. Swear to God, true story. I'll never forget it. I remember that day. Rich was like, I'm done.
I'm done until
making
Spot,
out with random chicks.
I'm done dating.
Yeah,
I'm
like
done
a good
dating.
friend. No, like a good friend. He's like, I'm not going to date anyone until Spot dates someone.
That was it, right?
Like a good friend.
That was
we went out later that night.
2 hours later.
Yeah, 2 hours later, we're at a bar. I'm hanging out with Jen. We're all hanging out. Everybody's hanging out. Where's Rich? Oh, he's making out with Jen. Later that night.
Yeah.
So Rich's big stance lasted 2 hours.
Sorry.
Now keep in
I
mind,
was just massaging your anus.
she wants to move to New York to be closer to me.
Yep.
In turn, gets a job with the Jets. If she doesn't get a job with the Jets, Brett Favre doesn't creepily send her a dick pic, and the world never has the Brett Favre penis scandal. So we wouldn't ever associate Brett Favre with a penis picture ever had I not dated Jen. Brett Favre could pinpoint I'm probably the reason why he's exposed.
I have a quick one that goes along with Rich's story.
And
hadn't we been hired by Maxim Magazine, which was an English-owned company, I would have never met Layla, and I wouldn't have my daughter.
Yep.
True.
And there was a specific guy who ran the magazine who was from England who was like, I got this girl for you. She's quite the firecracker. I think you should have her on.
Do you want to kill this guy?
What's his name again?
Oh,
we're like, what's her name? And he's like,
Check
Layla Kaylee. She's making moves. She's very fun. She's in our magazine. She's on a TV show, blah, blah, blah. She's going to be on your show. We're like, okay. If it wasn't for that guy, Andy something.
Oh, and she'll ruin your life.
Andy something.
Andy.
I'm pretty sure it was Andy. If it wasn't for that guy working for an English-owned magazine, he would have never recommended his British friend.
The crazy part was you walked out of the room and he's like, one more thing. And you're like, I got to go. And he's like, she'll ruin your life. and I was like, Covino, he's still talking.
No, but I wouldn't have my daughter. I don't think that's ruining my life. I'm just saying that's a quick butterfly effect, but that all goes back even further.
I have,
but that's a big one though.
Yeah, that's a huge one.
You don't remember his name?
Andy Dick. Andy Clarkson.
That sounds familiar. I think that's it.
Andy Clarkson, I think.
All right, so go ahead. Let me hear you.
Two more quickies. When Sarah came up to SiriusXM to promote the Hooters pageant and the Hooters calendar, they had come up to SiriusXM with 10 of the models. Someone in that moment made the arbitrary, random decision of, all right, you, and you are going to be on Covino and Rich, and you, and you are going to be on the Bauer Show.
Is it Clarkson?
Yeah, I just said that. Clarkson. Clarkson? Andy Clarkson, maybe.
Sorry.
Thanks, Andy.
Thanks. But the arbitrary person that was like, you. What if Sarah was in the group that went on Bauer Show?
She'd be married to Bauer? Oh, my God.
So just something like arbitrary like that.
And my Bauer's house right now?
My favorite butterfly.
I'd be co-hosting with Bauer.
My favorite I don't think it works that way.
Oh, okay.
My favorite butterfly effect of all time might be our buddy Scotty B spot. Our buddy Scotty B from Z100.
I don't think I know this one.
Best story.
I'm intrigued.
We're talking like the most.
Scotty B listens to our show, doesn't he? Yeah. What's up, Scotty B?
The most arbitrary butterfly effect. It's butterfly effect, but it's even just more like the most coincidental, bizarre shit ever.
Can't wait.
So.
He's so excited for the story.
Scotty B would be the guy that would go around New York, New Jersey, Queens, Brooklyn, Manhattan. He'd go all along the tri-state area with the stunt guy, Greg T, the frat boy. So Greg T would do these bits where, he'd be rolling down a hill, smelling people's armpits, rolling in a garbage can down a hill. Like, your typical morning zoo stunt guy.
Duct tape through a street sign.
Yeah, we're going to duct tape Greg T to a street sign in Hackensack, New Jersey. Oh, what are we doing tomorrow? Oh, Greg T's going to smell people's armpits and see if he could guess what deodorant they're wearing in, Huntington, Long Island. So Greg T, the frat boy, is like the stunt guy. And it was Scotty B's job at the time to be his escort. He'd be the promotional marketing guy that would drive Greg T around every single morning. It was a slow day. So like, Greg T, what are you doing Wednesday morning? We don't really have a bit planned. All right, you know what? Why don't you just go give away some prizes and go to a couple random towns. Where do you want to go in New Jersey? Apparently, they hand Scary Jones from the Elvis Duran Morning Show a dart. They go, They had a map of New York, New Jersey, and Connecticut. A big map on the promotional wall.
The tri-state area.
The tri-state area. Scary Jones takes the dart. Throws the dart. Let's say it lands in East Rutherford, New Jersey. They're like, all right, we're going to East Rutherford, New Jersey today to hand out fucking Z$100 bills. That morning, Scotty B met his wife.
Bam.
All based on Scary Jones. If Scary Jones throws the dart a little different, and they happen to go to,
that's why his son's name is Dart.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, exactly.
I thought he was just
Dart.
Dart B.
Dart B.
No, that's an amazing story, though. It really is. So again, everybody has a butterfly effect.
Oh, this is a this is a fantastic one, only because it's topical and it's not about us. Imagine. Alejandro brings up a great point because these effects have little effects on my life, your life, Spot's life, which is the big picture society, right? If so, there could have been a person that's like, Covino and Rich, we don't like them together, and we would never have a show. There's all these little things. But imagine being the person that called the police on George Floyd for using the counterfeit dollar to buy a cigarette or something. Mm-hmm. That person that was like, yeah, 911, some guy's trying to buy a pack of smokes with counterfeit money. That person had no clue in the moment the storm of shit that they set off as far as race wars and protests and riots and Black Lives Matter and everything. One person's phone call. 911? Yeah. Come over here. Do you realize the effect of that?
And didn't you just say this week that there was a specific event that Donald Trump was at where they sort of mocked him?
Oh, yeah, because the state of the
White House dinner.
The White House, the press corps, what is it? The correspondence dinner. They haven't had it in years now because of COVID and everything, but Donald Trump was mocked so much at these events that he even admits it was one of his catalysts to be like, well, I'm going to run again.
See?
So if Seth Meyers
one joke put him over the edge.
So Seth Meyers and these people didn't make fun of Donald Trump.
That divided the country in ways that we're still recovering from.
There you go.
So there you have it, the butterfly effect. All right, now this is this deep thought way back Wednesday with Covino and Rich. This is sort of dumb, but I'm asking you guys to play along. We've described a certain feeling that you have that we don't always talk about. We mentioned two of them today. When you get that fresh fade, when you got that first fresh fade, nothing is quite like the first in anything. And I remember my first fresh fade. My buddy Nick did it. Buddy Nick Alberto hooked it up. It's like, damn, dude, I look so much cooler now. Thank you. And there's a little bit of that feeling every time you get a fresh cut. Steve Gruber knows what I'm talking about. Rich knows what I'm talking about. Rich, when you got your first fade in the past few years, wasn't there a part of you that was like, yo, man, I feel fresh as hell.
I'm the freshest.
Yo, there's like a good feeling about it. Like, yeah, mojo just went up a few notches. There's a feeling that we all have that we don't always talk about. Put on a fresh new pair of socks, new kicks, whatever. There's a feeling of, yeah. Now, I'm about to explain a feeling. It's sort of dumb, but it's a feeling that I don't even warrant having, which is why I think it comes from like an instinctive, primal sort of past that's just in all of us, or at least in me, because I am not worthy of even feeling this way, but I still do, I think, based on just human instinct. Not John Basedown, based on. Feel like you're not listening to me, but I'm
listening.
Appreciate you being here.
No, I'm listening. I was just thinking that if Spot never dished John Basedow, he'd be with us right now.
You guys just John Basedow.
We'd probably be ripped, the most ripped radio show.
If we stayed friends with
friends with John Basedow.
A fitness infomercial guy.
Maybe that's Spot's secret ploy to like get him out of our lives. Spot's like, I'm going to be the ripped one.
It's part of my 10-year plan. I get rid of him in 2010. And then 10 years later, I go to the gym.
Yeah. I know what I'm going to do.
I know what I'll do.
So, am I making myself very clear?
Of course,
I'm sorry. How many times did you need to hear eat around the outside of the You know,
shaped like a bowling pin, dude, bros.
Eat like a what is it? A pauper, a prince or king in the morning, a prince in the afternoon, and a pauper at night. How many times did you need to hear that?
Thank you, Kyle. Thank you, Bill. I feel like Rich has got his head up his butt, so I'm going to give a few shout outs before I get into the next thing. Yeah. Shout out and shout out to Tim Mallow. What's up, Tim Mallow? Tim Mallow. Does he wear a cowboy hat?
I feel like he does.
I feel like Tim Mallow wears a cowboy hat.
He's got a fine appreciation for the opposite sex.
What's up, Tim? You know what malo means in Spanish?
Yeah, bad.
Tim, the bad guy.
He's the bad boy.
He's an outlaw.
He's a bad boy.
He's Tim, the outlaw with a cowboy hat.
I call him Timmy the bad boy. Bad boy Timmy.
Fastest in the West. Tim Mallow. Mark Reyes. What's up, Mark Reyes?
He definitely wears a man's.
I see you guys. Doug Ferrier. Sorry about the Blue Jays. Maybe they'll win. Maybe they're winning now.
Right.
I don't know. They're playing the Yankees.
They were winning 1-0.
That's Dr. Doug Ferrier to you.
Doug Ferrier. Dr. Doug Ferrier. Thank you.
Is he like a real doctor or like Dr. Dre?
I think he's like a PhD.
Paul Padoni. Or is it Padone? I don't know. I worked with a girl named Jill Padone.
Is he a doctor?
It could be Paul Padone. Could be Paul Padoni. But I appreciate you, man. Thank you, Paul. Brooke Chambers. Thank you very much. Thank you guys, everybody, for hanging out with us every day here on our Patreon. Couldn't do it without you. Mean it.
Mean it.
So, again, I stayed up late last night. I got tons of dumb thoughts and feelings that we don't address all the time that are there, I think, instinctively for some reason. There's a few good ones we mentioned. Again, the haircut, the socks, fresh kicks. Sebastian Maniscalco describes one in his comedy special. Again, I have never heard anyone describe the feeling before. And I'm like, yeah, I could relate to that. I feel the same way. I've never heard anyone else talk about that. He does a whole bit about how there's a feeling you get when you valet parking, you sort of float out of the car. Right? There's a feeling you have when you pull up to the valet and you just float out of the car and you hand him the keys. There's like a good feeling about it. I don't know what it's called, but I think we all know what he was talking about when he said that. I did. It's a different sort of vibe when you do that.
Yeah.
You float out like you're the man. There's a feeling that I feel like I'm left expecting that I don't always get. And I think it goes back to primal instincts.
Okay.
I really do.
Let's hear this.
Okay. Picture a caveman. I'm not that far off. In fact, 23andMe said I have some Neanderthal in me.
Like the guy.
I don't know if I could say knuckle dragger because that's a dirty word nowadays.
I always thought knuckle dragger referred to like a caveman, but apparently it could have a racist innuendo according to the NBA.
If you want to make it that way, I don't know. I mean, it's not the smartest thing to say sometimes. I don't know.
But anytime you've ever said
it means
knuckle
like
draggers,
mouth breather.
I always thought you meant like some old caveman, like some like Fred Flintstone type of shit.
So think back to caveman days. Not even caveman days. Think back to just early days of man. Traditionally, men and women had roles, right? Traditionally, men and women, for as long as we could probably think back to, had roles in society, in their village, in their cave, in their community, whatever it was. Men would go out and do what for the most part?
They would hunt.
Yeah.
Hunt.
And they would get what?
Meat.
Yeah. Food, right?
Yeah. Women would gather berries.
Yeah, but when they would come back to the village.
You're either a hunter or a gatherer.
Or when they would come back to the cave or to the community or the home, you would imagine, just based on your thoughts and what you see in movies, that people are real excited about the catch and the kill and the feast. Because they're all excited. They're all excited that they're going to eat and feast tonight because the men went out and they got
hunted.
the food, right?
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, look at the men. The men came back with all the food. There's a part of me that feels...
When you get takeout?
Yes. Yes, that when I come home with the bag, even though I've done nothing to warrant this feeling, there's a part of me that expects like Melody to come running out of her room, the Jordan to have a smile on her face and like be so happy that I'm back with the catch and the food of the day. And I'm always met with like an overwhelming sort of like, I feel like I'm here. You don't know about my journeys. You don't know about the traffic I sat through. You know, the guy who almost hit me, the encounter I had with the dude. And I'm like, yeah, I think it's under Jordan. I don't know. It might be under Steve. I don't know. Yeah. Can you throw the forks and napkins in there? Yeah. She wants extra bread. She doesn't know. So I went out on my mission. Is this guy for real? Came all the way back. And when I come home, I expect a little something because there's a proud feeling that I have, even though I did nothing. But if you are confused by what I'm saying, then you weren't listening.
No.
Because I already said I'm not worthy.
No, I'm listening.
Of feeling this way. I think it comes down to
your primal
DNA and your instincts. It's like it's there. It's like
innate.
I'm here with the food. And I expect everyone in my little village to be like. and when I come home, Rich, I'm like, I get like, yeah, that was quick, or like
you think. But no, and I get what you said. Your instinct is telling
Melody,
you
the food's here. She's like, all right,
Jordan's like, that's nice.
you picking up.
No one's happy about it, really.
That's great.
They're like, okay, and I'm like, yeah, but I got back quick, right? I'm still looking for that validation that I already admitted I'm not worthy of. I did nothing. I know that. I'm just saying, there's a part of me that feels this sense of I did my manly primal. And it's not met with the
I think
same thought that I have of how it was in the past.
I think a caveman going out and killing a bison or something and dragging it back to his family is very similar to you going to El Pollo Loco.
I know I know it's not. But you don't have that sense of like almost a bit of pride when you're coming home with, I don't know, your breakfast. Your McDonald's breakfast.
I'm going to say no.
Look here, never? You don't have a feeling?
I don't get that at all. It's funny that you feel that. I look at it like the excitement
Again, this is about a feeling that I have when I come back. Like, I got the food.
Is this why the two of you eat out so much? It's you're filling your innate desire.
I eat out like once a week.
Be the hunter and go out and bring back food?
No, because I reluctantly go out to get it, but I'm always the one that goes out to get it. It's kind of a guy's role. It really is. How many relationships, I'm not saying women don't ever do this, but I would say 9 times out of 10, it's the guy that puts his shoes on, puts his jacket on, goes out, gets the order, comes back.
It's usually like mom's like, I'll stay with the kids.
So there's a role there. And I think, again, I don't think I'm worthy of feeling this sense of like, I could come back with the food.
Like you're a hunter.
But I still have it. And then I'm left feeling a little empty when the result and the reaction is, yeah, like, did you get extra forks? I'm like, yeah.
You hunted your salad from Mendocino Farms, huh?
Yeah. That's not what I'm saying. You're stating what I already tried to negate from this conversation.
I know that you're not supposed to.
I know I'm not. I'm telling you, I think it's probably the instinct of
I think
our forefathers.
I think, and I feel like Rich started saying this. It's more about the excitement of, yes, let's eat. The food's here. We can finally unleash.
But I'm not met with that excitement. I have that excitement.
Yeah, like when I come home with,
I have that.
When
excitement.
I come back with pancakes Saturday morning, and Emmy and Ben are like, pancakes. I don't get the sense of like I'm a hunter and I just brought back the kill. I just think of like they're hungry and I'm finally here now. It's time to eat. But you're
maybe
saying
I'm the only guy that has the sense of
because I eat
maybe
out.
I'm the only guy really connected with my primal instincts.
Because we eat out so infrequently. The thought of like, okay, we've planned for this. We've spent time waiting. We're starving. We went out to get this food. We're just ready to ravage.
Yeah. So I'm sort of proud, and I'm always met with like, they forgot this. I should have checked, and I'm like, now it's my fault.
Oh, I mean,
yes. Okay, fine.
So you were a horrible hunter.
Yeah. I guess I could do a better job next time. It's like, it's always a deflating sort of like, I expect more. But
when someone comes back with the food, man or woman, you're right. Usually, man, I
put on a show. Like,
I always chalk it up to like,
let's go.
I always chalk it up to like, we're just excited.
Fritz went out and about and he brought back, I got pizza. I'm like, yo.
Oh, do you like put it on the counter and like open it up for everybody, lay it out?
Like, ooh, yeah, Rich. Yo, man, thanks, bro. I'd be like, thanks, dude. Man, thanks. You went out there and roughed it. I appreciate you. Thanks, dude. You battled the elements.
I think it's just I think it's just the excitement. All right, like you could say primal, and that's sort of a funny tie-in, but I think it really is just that you're going.
Well, why would I
expect?
Why would I feel that way if it wasn't like sort of this role that we play and that I expect? I didn't do anything. I know I didn't do anything. What did I do? I didn't even order it. I just went out and got it.
There is a sense of like
doing my job.
I guess there is a sense of like, hey, you got the food.
Yeah, that's all it is. That's all I'm saying. All right.
I think a lot of guys like to go out to food just because it's an escape for a few minutes. Like, yeah, I'll go out to get the food.
Sometimes they feel that way. A lot of times, again, it's reluctant. I'm like, oh.
No, just like get out of the chaos for a minute. I think a lot of times guys are like, yeah, I'll take the ride. Sure, why not? Like,
well, again, you got two little rugrats.
Yeah, I mean, like,
when I'm chilling
most
watching the
people
Yankee game, I don't. Not most people have two little rugrats. No,
most people have kids. No,
most people have two little. Like,
well, they know that feeling of
little
like,
kids. Yeah, I know that feeling too. But when I'm watching the Yankee game, or I'm not in that boat. A lot of times I'm like, yeah, but it's my duty. Like I don't want to, but I must for the village. So anyway, all right, Rando news of the day.
Oh, it's time.
It's more sports related, Spot.
You had that feeling of. Okay.
Sports.
More of a sports headline sort of day.
What were you going to say? I'm sorry. He said, I have the feeling. What were you going to say?
No, you were talking about things that I thought you were opening it up to things that give you that feeling.
I was, but I don't feel like anyone's playing along. So, I mean, not playing along. You guys,
I'll play along.
Entertain me.
You're the ultimate caveman.
It's a very hard sort of thing to describe. I gave you other examples of these feelings. If you have one that no one talks about, by all means, share it.
Universal feelings that you usually don't discuss.
When you clean your house, like you said, deep clean, and you watered your plants and everything's just right, there is a sense of like, you sleep better that night. Not everyone talks about it, but there is a sense of completion, a sense of satisfaction. There's a feeling that you have. Yep. Everything is mint right now. I put my feet up and this is how it should be.
There's universal feelings that everyone could understand the feeling. I thought of a few based on what you were saying.
Oh, then I would love to hear them.
When you are anticipating a big trip, vacation. And by the way, someone I played softball with last night made a great distinction. He was talking about traveling. Because there's this difference between going on a trip and a vacation. Because vacation is like check your mind, chill, lay by a beach, have a drink, don't think about anything. He goes, a trip could be, sometimes you go take a trip with your kids, or you go on a vacation and you're doing exploring. And when you get home, you're like, that really wasn't much of a vacation. It was a trip. You go to see family. Is that a vacation? That's a trip. Like, they're different things.
They are. Yeah, I've taken a few trips to Idaho.
You've taken trips to Jersey. You've taken trips to Vegas.
I've taken one vacation in 3 years.
Yeah, vacation is you're laying around.
Yeah, when you're on a speedboat and you're rocking on.
Yeah, rock on. That feeling of...
Isn't it interesting? It's the
one time Spot doesn't play. He's looking down. I know. It's the one time. Is he sleeping?
Got his head in Uranus.
Oh, I'm sorry. What do you want?
Nothing.
The one time.
The one time.
What did you need?
Nothing. Don't worry about it. The fact that you don't even hear something that's happening 10 feet from you.
That's a vacation.
That feeling of you wrap up your last work email or you record your last turbo segment and you're like, and that feeling of like,
it's like a feeling of
I am
finishing a marathon.
Yeah, like I am officially.
Hold on, but I've never run a marathon. That's my point. I've never went on a hunt and brought back food to the village. I've never ran a marathon either, but I feel when I'm done with a long day of tedious, I know you guys are like whoopity-doo, but voice tracking is tedious.
Yeah, it's very tedious.
What we do for radio is tedious. When you know you're almost done.
Like, I don't have to, like, it could be, it doesn't need to be.
I prefer things that are tedious.
It doesn't need to be.
She's tedious.
It doesn't have to be any job in particular, but when you know your last task is done.
Yeah, yeah.
And now that I finished this last task, I'm officially like no responsibility for, let's say, a week.
Everybody has to relate
is like
to that.
the, and some people feel it on Friday. I get that when you have a nice long weekend, but I'm talking like vacations coming up and you're like, I got to do this. I got to call this client. I got to do this. And then once I'm done with this, I'm done. That is a feeling that we could all be like, that is a universal feeling.
I think it is.
Another universal feeling, I don't know why you always feel so awesome about yourself when you are walking. You're walking to dinner.
When you come back with the takeout?
No.
When I'm looking at myself in the mirror at the gym.
You.
John ZL said the end of a semester in college was always like a feeling of like, yo, I took my last exam.
Well, it's accomplishment, right?
Yeah. When you're done packing for a move, or I just did with my mom, yeah. When you bring the last box in or the last piece of furniture and like, moving truck is empty?
It's the sense of accomplishment. It's like, man, yeah, it's a great feeling. It is.
When you finally pay off a long-term bill, like a college loan or a mortgage or a car lease or payment, like when you finally pay off something big, that feeling of like, wow. I feel like another feeling that we could all relate to is the feeling of you're on vacation and you and your significant other like take your time getting ready and you're walking to the restaurant on the resort and you're like in your like summer gear and you got that beach tan from like the afternoon, and for some reason you're probably wearing some like white linen shirt and your girl's all fucking hot in her dress or something. That feeling of like, wow, like life is, does it get more chill than this? Like, does that feel? I'm sure you just experienced that.
It is. I know exactly what you're talking about. That's a great. I don't know what that feeling. I don't know what that feeling is.
Your skin's sort of hot because you were in the sun all day.
I don't know what that is.
But you're freshly showered and you're just walking down to the restaurant.
Is that some sort of primal instinct that we have? I don't know. But that whatever that is, I know exactly what he's talking about. Man, I'm feeling good here on my vacation. This ain't a trip. Yeah. This ain't a trip. It's vacation. All right. So
I love that Russell Wilson's wife is still in the boat. His ex-wife is still in the boat with Covino and Jordan.
Taking petitions to join the boat with Covino and Jordan.
I think Rocket Dog should be next.
To join the boat is a tier 4.
Yeah, who wants to be in the boat next?
But you have to have a photo of elation, like Russell Wilson's wife. Otherwise, you ain't doing it.
Oh, you know when I had that feeling of accomplishment, Rich, that you described? But it wasn't as awesome as I thought it would be. It really wasn't. I had so much credit card debt that it was a nightmare to me.
Oh, paying something off.
Yeah, but it was a nightmare. It's like your college debt or whatever, right? Your college loan. I had credit card debt that was weighing me down mentally, financially. You know, it was sort of ruining my life at one point because you're only paying interest, right, for so long, and it's like, oh, it's a nightmare.
That's the waste.
Yeah, I'm like, oh man, I'm gonna feel so great when I finally pay this off. When I did, I felt good. Not as great as I thought.
You thought you'd feel better.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. But the feeling of accomplishment is definitely one that's underrated. All right, so Rando News, sports related. You can share your thoughts again on social media at Covino and Rich. I'm the only guy that feels this way, I guess, when he gets takeout. At Covino and Rich. Most of it's sports related news. Hope you're enjoying your NBA playoffs. Again, the Suns beat the Mavs 110-80. Phoenix up 3-2. 76ers and Heat won 120-85. Miami's up 3-2.
DJ Khaled keeping the Heat loose, giving Spoelstra massages.
Bucks and Celtics all tied.
Is that English?
Warriors, Grizzlies 3-1, and they play tonight. But Ja Morant is out for the remainder of the playoffs. That knee injury got bad, so that sucks for them. Sorry, Grizzlies.
Over the last few years, it is pretty funny how we wanted to give all this credit to the Lakers and the Nets and the Clippers. There was a whole narrative. In the beginning of the season, the teams that were favored to go all the way in Vegas were still like the Lakers and the Nets and these, quote, power teams that never were powerful. The reality is the same teams, Suns, Heat, Bucks, the teams that have been in it, the Heat, all teams, Covino, that have been in it the last few years. Think about it. The Heat lost to Jimmy Butler and the Heat lost to LeBron 2 years ago. And last year, what was it? Phoenix and Milwaukee? Golden State was in 5 NBA championships in a row. So you're ended up looking at the same teams. They're just not the teams that we keep thinking are going to be good. They're the teams that are just young and good.
Sorry, Grizzlies fans. But enjoy the NBA playoffs tonight. By the way, I thought of another feeling. Your first night in a new place. Your first night in a new place. There's something about it, right? You wake up that next morning like,
am I? This is where I live now.
Oh, yeah, the bathroom's over here. Like,
What about after pleasing a woman? Like you walk to the bathroom, you're like, man, I feel good about myself. Yeah, I feel good.
Yeah, there should be words to describe these feelings. Reed Detmers pitched a no-no for the Angels yesterday. Rookie too, right? Isn't that dude a rookie?
He's a rook.
That's pretty dope.
Rookie.
So, again, the other fun fact is, I don't know if it still applies, but I think it does. It's the first time in baseball history where both New York teams and both LA teams are in first place.
Still applies.
And honestly, Rich made this point on Fox Sports Radio, so I don't want to harp on it again. There are more dominant teams in the first month plus of baseball than in any other season right now.
There's like 9 teams. There's like, I think, almost 10 teams that are on pace for 100 wins, which is not going to happen. Teams will cool down. But right now, there's a lot of teams that jumped out hot. So unless there's a bunch of 100-win teams and a bunch of shit teams, it levels out.
But an actual 9-inning no-hitter, Reed Detmers, that's always, I mean, how many in history now?
No hitters?
Yeah.
A ton? I don't even know.
No, it's not that many.
Hundreds? I don't know. How many? How many no hitters? Let's see.
I don't know.
How many no hitters?
I have a thought. I'll write it down because I don't want to say it out loud.
In Major League Baseball history.
Because I could be way off then.
I feel like perfect games is like 20 or 30 something, right?
Right. But still a no-hitter, man. That's
hundreds, like I thought.
Really? Hundreds?
Yeah, what was your number?
I thought it was 60-something.
316.
Wow.
Maybe 317 after last night.
Okay. In Yankee news, we already mentioned it. Aaron Judge. He's a Yankee. It goes back to 1987. That's how they acquired him.
Oh, did you see, by the way, how Syndergaard trolled the Mets?
I'm talking about the Yankees.
You talk about the no-hitter, though.
Oh, what about? Oh, yeah. That was funny. Again, I'm sorry.
Syndergaard,
I'm still thinking Syndergaard's a Met.
Syndergaard, how he's on the Angels, and the rookie, Detmers, pitched a no-hitter for the Angels, and he goes, well, that's a real no-hitter. You know, taking a little social media dig at
But it was all in fun, though. No?
Yeah, maybe. Who knows?
Oh, I don't know. I thought, hey, he's a former Met.
Yeah.
I thought that was a playful jab, but you're right. It could be smack talk.
Well,
I don't know.
He didn't leave the Mets on like great terms.
And speaking of smack talk, the Yankees and Blue Jays, they're two dominant teams. There's a lot of like chirping going on. You might see a brawl. There was almost a brawl yesterday. You might see one today. They're playing right now. Who knows? Because two dominant teams, two young teams. Aaron Judge was ready to pounce. There was people throwing at each other yesterday, and he ended up getting a walk-off home run. And to tie it to our previous conversation, Meredith Marakovitz asks Aaron Judge, what does it feel like? And like he couldn't even put it into words. Hitting a walk, he's like, doing it in New York. I think he said something like, I can't even describe it. He must have been floating around the bases.
You think doing it in New York feels better than doing it somewhere else?
Yeah, it's his home field.
Yeah, but I'm saying for any athlete, they could answer that question with, oh, it feels great. I mean,
it's something I'll never experience in front of, 30,000 people at Yankee Stadium. So she asked him that, and he was trying to describe how it felt. But anyway, Yankees, big walk-off. It was a big walk-off.
Oh, it was a nice hit.
We played it yesterday. And then in other Met news, Yankees had a big moment, and the Mets are playing great. But did you see where the Mets dropped the ball? And your dad's hero, Carton, said the Mets did something the Yankees would never have done, and that's what makes it different.
I don't know. My dad doesn't listen to Carton anymore.
He doesn't listen to him anymore?
He listens to Michael K. You know that.
Well, I didn't know he didn't listen to him anymore.
Their competition.
The Mets put out a well-deserved statue of Tom Seaver out in front of Citi Field.
Yeah.
Tom Terrific. And it was just brought to the public's attention that they put the wrong font on the back of his jersey. Because he was dominant in 60-something, whatever?
Yeah, like late 60s, early 70s.
They put him in the wrong jersey, dude.
What do you mean the wrong font?
The wrong font.
Doesn't match.
It doesn't match the
How
time
did I fix that?
The time in which he played.
So, like, people, now that they pointed it out, the Mets fans, quote unquote, the Mets fans can't unsee it. And
fail.
But here's the thing: the front of the jersey's correct. The back of the jersey is incorrect.
Is there a photo of the back?
So now people are like, "How do you drop the ball on something like that?" That's something. That's the difference between. And I'm not saying this to rub it into Rich.
The sculptor admits it.
That's the difference between the Mets and the Yankees. They say
Can
the
we
Yankees pay
see
attention
what
to
you're talking
detail.
about for tier 2? I
They
want to
would
know
never
what,
have made this mistake.
Yeah, I want to know what the wrong font looks like.
it.
That's the story. I'm just
Here we
giving it
go.
to you.
Oh, they use the current font. Oh, wait. How does the font look different?
I don't know. Because I thought this is right in Rich's
the
wheelhouse.
the 4 has a little trail to
the
it.
little extra, the little nubbin.
Yeah, it doesn't bother
is that
me.
what it is?
It doesn't bother me.
Yeah,
That's
it's
like,
the extra nubbin.
I mean, we couldn't even figure. Yeah, that's fine. I don't
Mets,
really care.
apparently Mets fans, Rich being one of them, are like, geez, come on, can't we get anything
I'm
right?
not up in
Can't they
arms.
just-
It doesn't
I mean,
look
when
good.
your team is
Yeah.
slaying it right now the way they
Doesn't
are,
matter. Who cares
this
about
doesn't
this?
really
This is
have
silly-
impact.
this is silly talk.
But
This-
What's
I mean,
the
it's a
statue
story.
made of? What's the statue made of? Bronze? Can't they just make a little nubbin and put it on the floor?
They can figure it out if they want to. I'm honestly doesn't bother me even a little bit.
By the way, shout out to Yobi. He just hit me up. And Chulabin. In other rando news, in other sports news, don't hit any clip spot. Mike Tyson won't face any charges for punching that guy. Our buddy Greg Jensen shared this story on our Facebook page, but it's gone viral. Mike Tyson got in a scuffle. I was being antagonized.
Yeah.
On a plane. Faces no charges for that, so he's off the hook there. Props to him. And I saw this, and I just figured I'd bring it up because it's stupid rando news. Tropicana.
Is this rando news?
This is just one story. Tropicana.
The juice.
The juice.
Okay. Not the...
Hey, Twitter world.
Juice.
Were you a Five Alive guy way back on a Wednesday?
Yeah, my dad was a 5 Alive guy.
Oh, I love Five Alive.
Well, we always have 5 Alive in the fridge for sure.
Five Alive is the blue
5
card.
Alive and V8.
That's very 8. And Tab.
No, not Tab.
V8.
5 Alive and V8 were in the fridge.
My
I
mom
always
used to
remember.
drink V8.
8
V8.
servings of fruits and vegetables.
Well, what's another brand? Like Nature's Finest? Is that a brand? I can picture it.
Florida's natural.
I mean, Tropicana has to be the league
Tropicana
leader.
was the number one. Yeah.
Yeah, it has to be. Right?
Yeah.
Tropicana, household brand, came out with something new. But here's the weird part of the story. Apparently, people like putting orange juice in their cereal. I'm like, really? I'm like, what? Since when? What kind of crazy white people shit is that? I never heard of that in my life.
I don't know about that crazy shit.
So as a result, I think that's how the story goes. Tropicana has made
Gross.
something called Tropicana Crunch, and it's supposed to be a cereal that complements the orange juice. Like it goes, like it's not just like I'm putting it in Frosted Flakes.
Well, that makes
It's
sense,
Putting
then.
in some sort of, I guess, citrusy,
if they
blended sort of vibe.
If they made something that makes sense, then I'm all for it.
Yeah,
'cause,
this is
you could-
made by Tropicana Crunch, and I don't know. It's interesting. Like, oh wait, Minute Maid. That's another. Yeah, Mark.
Scotty B.
Yeah.
Minute Maid was a big one.
Minute
Does
Maid.
a cereal podcast, meaning cereal, like cereal, and they talked
There's
about
a
this.
podcast on cereal. Man, there's really a podcast on everything, huh?
Everything.
Wow.
But yeah, here it is.
There it is.
Sold out in a day.
Tropicana cereal. Like there's an intrigue there, for sure. Like it sounds gross, but I'm kind of like, yeah, maybe refreshing. I'll try it. I'm a cereal killer.
No.
Remember, I grew up on cereal.
I don't.
By the way, on a side note, way back on a Wednesday, Mark said, guys, don't forget Minute Maid. Remember those weird things? I don't think they sell them anymore. It would be that like crunchy, pulpy, frozen glob of goo that would be in a can that you're supposed to just add it to water.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Yeah.
Like frozen orange juice.
I don't think they sell that anymore.
And you
right?
it's.
Oh, they have to.
Really?
I'm sure they do.
Who the fuck buys that?
Orange juice. You would put a clump of. You put the. Yeah.
You know how it's always not from concentrate?
Yeah.
That's concentrate.
Yeah. So you would add that to. You would add that with a cup of water and. Yeah, that would be your. No, that was gross. But yeah, that was very 80s and 90s.
They still sell it.
They still sell that?
Yeah.
Glob of orange.
Who
stuff?
buys it?
It takes up less space in your freezer.
I've never seen it.
You can mix the concentrate. You mix it with water using the can as the measuring cup.
But
so
how
it's
could
like,
it? But how could it be like healthy?
I don't know. I didn't even know they
But
did.
who
I
would
thought that was
opt
like
for
an
that?
80s
It's
thing.
got to be cheap because. Like orange juice could be like $3, $4, $5
This is
a thing.
why-
Like, is this when someone's like, "Well, it's only 99 cents"? Like, why
here's
would
the
you
story.
opt for this?
This is why Grandma always used frozen orange juice.
And they're right about that. The only people I remember using that was Grandma.
Let's see. It became popular in the 40s. Yeah, it was just children of the Depression. It was just cheap.
That's it, right?
Yeah, probably. I was gonna say probably it had to be cheap because, like, orange juice is not cheap. Like, you get orange juice when you have friends over. I know this because when I always host parties over here, because girls always want mimosas, and I'm like, all right, I'll get two. I'm like, 2 oranges is like $10 for 2 things of OJ. Like, OJ's not cheap, which is why
Twitter world.
It was. It was because it was the orange juice, fresh OJ was spoiling, so this was a way to get OJ out to the masses. Without it spoiling. So.
Hey, Spot, I just
anyone. I mean, you guys try that or no? Tropicana Crunch.
I would no interest. I feel
you wouldn't even want to try it. I totally want to try it. I do.
Well, you're an orange juice type of guy, meaning like when we go to like a diner, you're the type of guy where I'm like, I'll have a coffee with my breakfast. You're the guy that's like, orange juice, please.
Love a fresh glass of orange
you
juice.
are like, you're the guy.
I am the guy.
Yeah.
I mean, I love Tang too. I saw someone wrote Tang. I grew up on Tang.
No, not even.
I really
Spot,
did.
I sent you a picture.
I would drink Tang by the scoopful. I would eat it.
That's gross. What was Tang? Like orange punch? Like,
it's fantastic.
It was like an orange drink, right?
They still sell it though. It's orange drink. Yeah, I grew up. Honestly, when I say I grew up on it, my mom's gonna say I didn't. I did. My grandma had it. My Uncle Joe used to make it all the time. Tang, 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 tang.
Hey, Spotty, I sent to our Covino and Rich chat, the CNR one, something I saw yesterday. This is something that's trending, and it seems like most people are like, nah, I don't like mixing my cereals, but they're now doing mixed cereals. Did you see this? I don't know if it's like some type of promotion, but Cinnamon Toast Crunch, Lucky Charms, mixed limited edition. So it's the Lucky Charms marshmallows
Remix!
and everything mixed with Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
I'm down.
I mean, great. I'm not saying no to it, but yeah, I'd give it a go.
Interesting. 63% and nope.
I don't think they go.
What was the question?
But maybe they do.
Are you down with this or something? Most people are like, hell yeah. No, most people are like, nope.
Really? I feel like cinnamon and marshmallows.
Lucky Charms
really complements each other.
Those are 2 good cereals, but I don't know if I want them together either, bro.
Would you mix it with some OJ instead of milk?
No thanks.
John Ziel might. He says nothing better than fresh squeezed OJ, and I agree. I love it.
OJ, what's up? Gives me
juice.
Gives you acid, like acidy
acid
feeling.
reflux. I hate it.
Yeah,
Like for the rest of the day, I feel like something's burning in my chest.
But it sounds weird though, an orange cereal. So anyway, that's your rando news.
I have 2 more.
Today.
Before you say you're done with the random news, hey, do you have any stories? I have 2 stories to add to the rando news. Ariel Winter from Modern Family left California because she said she does not like being watched. Do you feel like if you were a celebrity, would you be the type that's like, yeah, I live in LA or New York, I don't mind people watching me or taking pictures, or like, hey, there she is, here he is? Or would you want to be this celebrity? It's like, I live in Iowa now.
I mean, there's levels, right?
A lot of them do that. A lot of them will go
like,
to like
do you want
Montana.
to be watched?
No, I don't think anybody does. I mean, some people do.
I think some people like it because it keeps their brand going, right?
The paparazzi. It's good for their brand. It's good for their hype. You got to stay in the news to stay relevant. But it like, again, there's levels of celebrity. Like Tony Danza, every time he was on our show.
Oh, you
I'll reenact it.
I love it. It's my favorite. See this? See this?
I'll reenact it. Tony Danza.
Hey, don't.
Hey, my guys. Hey, boy, my boys. Hey. You know, he would talk about his level of fame, and he would always do this. You see this?
Why do you have a Metro card?
I could take this anywhere and no one bothers me. I'm the perfect level of fame.
People on the subway will be like, hey, Tony, give him a head nod, but no one bothers him.
Please look at the back of that. When does it expire?
2019. 2016. Why do you have that?
August 31st, 2019.
Please. No, you're putting it back in.
No, because you can transfer the money on it.
Yeah.
No, I don't think
$20
you
on
You
his
can. You
grandma.
can transfer the money to a new card.
Doesn't take, you know how little space this takes up?
It's not it's like, yeah.
What do you need that for?
He would pull out his Metro card
Last time you were in the city.
to describe that he had a level of fame where he would take public transportation, take the train, take the bus, and had such a great sort of level of fame where no one bothered him. It was a perfect place, perfect pocket. But if this Modern Family woman is so famous,
she's a younger Hollywood girl, and she's like, listen, I don't like everywhere I go, whether it's the beach or the store or a restaurant. Everyone's like,
and everybody's grown up different too. Maybe she's from small town. I don't know.
Plus, she went through a lot of personal stuff.
Yeah.
So I get it.
Yeah.
I'd love to live in my little cabin.
Well, listen,
here in the mountains.
time to say arrivederci, but tomorrow, just a little bit of what's on tomorrow's show.
You said you had 2 stories.
No, he's got to go.
I want to talk about being done with traveling. I'll explain tomorrow. I want to talk about.
Say that every time you travel.
I have a question about housing.
Is this a basketball story?
Yeah, it is. It's a friend in need about money with your spouse or girlfriend or boyfriend. I have a thought about reincarnation. A thought about working for someone younger. I have a lot of things we'll get to tomorrow. And best of all, something I wonder if Covino thinks he could do. Someone pulled off something that I think is miraculous.
Is it a TikTok dance to this song?
Money don't jiggle, jiggle, it folds. I like to see you wiggle, wiggle, for sure. It makes me want to dribble, dribble. You know, riding in my Fiat, you really have to see it. 6
But
feet,
tomorrow,
compact, no slack. But luckily,
I put Covino to the test. So we'll see you then. Until then, arrivederci, baby.
See you in the promised land.
Bye-bye.